Okay, and we're back. Give me just a second here to toggle this over. So, we're going to start out today with Diablo 2. This might be a bit of a very long stream today because I actually have a System Shock releasing later, and I kind of want to take a look at that. And I might decide to stream it depending on if it syncs up and, like, unfortunately it doesn't let you pre-download, so I'd have to start the download after the stream. We'll see how that all works. But depending on how long this runs and if it's available, I might end up just doing straight into System Shock after this. But yes, in the lead up to Diablo 4, I wanted to do a look at each of the main Diablo games. Before we got started, I will be doing most of today in Diablo Resurrected, or Diablo 2 Resurrected, I should say. But I wanted to start, just like I did yesterday, where I started with the original Diablo before I went into Hellfire. We're going to start with the original Diablo 2 before I go into Resurrected. And this took a little bit of work. I was actually running a little bit late here starting because it really did not want to capture this, but I believe I've actually got it running. And we've got, yes, the original, I think this was 2000 Diablo 2, which actually just got a patch very recently. When I first launched it today, it was on version 1.14D. Hey, Subs, how's it going? And then, or 1.14B, and it just updated to D. They're still patching this game to this day. 23 years later, this game is still receiving update patches, which is absolutely insane. I have not played this version in a while. This version, like the PC version, so my characters aren't all here. I don't have very much going on this one, but I did want to take a look at it just to show what the original version looked like, because this is where it all, this is kind of viewed as like the best this game franchise has ever been. I would say Resurrected does an excellent job just kind of replacing this. I was going to practice drifting for a while. I play in a friend's car. Fun. Very fun. But yeah, let's dive in here real quick. We'll take a look at the opening cinematic in the original one, Sister's Lament, and see what that looks like. And then we'll create a character, take a little bit of a look at how this game works, and then we're going to exit and go into Resurrected, just to get into the main focus of this. Hello? Sister's Lament? Oh, is this not going to work because I have it in a window? Oh, I bet you it isn't going to work. Well, okay, we'll take a look at the cutscene when I get into Resurrected. They have the original cutscenes in there anyway, so I can just view it in there. That's fine. Remnants Archetype trailers. I have not. I'll have to take a look at that. What is it? Anyways, character selection here. The Amazon, Spear and Bow. The Assassin, added in the first expansion, and only expansion, Lord of Destruction. Kind of a martial artist. She plays kind of similar to World of Warcraft Rogue. A lot of combo points and juggling all that. Challenger, Gunslinger, and Handler. Really? Interesting. Necromancer, we've seen this a little bit when I was playing Diablo 4. Raising the Dead, bone spells, poison spells, all that fun stuff. Also, dear God, this is deafeningly loud on my end. I'm hoping it's not too bad on your end. I'm actually just going to, real quick, knock that down a little bit on my end so that I'm not deaf by the end of the stream. We've got the Barbarian. This was added in Hellfire for Diablo 1 as a unlockable class. Saw the Gunslinger trailer and just threw my wallet. I'll have to take a look at that after this. Not too loud? Okay, good. There's no volume options in this game, so on my end, I had to do all the volume adjusting on the stream end, and that means that my end is going to be max volume no matter what. Paladin. Natural party leader, holy man, and blessed warrior. You get a lot of party buffs and a lot of like holy spells and a lot of melee combat focus. They're very fun. It's actually one of my preferred classes to play. It's also one of the easiest classes to just make an incredibly broken like end game character on. Sorceress. Elemental magic and some teleports and some other fun stuff. Again, another very fun class. I've never been a big fan of Sorceress just because I can't get my head around magic ranged combat, so not for me, but all a very strong class if you know what you're doing with them. And Druid, we saw a tiny bit of this in Diablo 4 as well. Shape-shifting, summoning animals, elementals, like spells, very fun. We'll take a look at... Unless you have a particular preference you'd like to see, I'll probably do Paladin, just for this. This is going to be a short one. I'm just going to kind of pop in, take a little look at this, and then dive into the main game afterwards. Or maybe Necromancer. Necromancer is pretty fun. We'll take a look at Paladin. No, screw it. Take a look at Sorceress for this. While we do this, this does have a fun option of you can disable the expansions if you want. So if you wanted to play without the additional expansion features, you can do that. It basically just means some of the additional items won't drop, the way drop rates are handled. You won't have quite as large of an inventory because they did expand the inventory a little bit with the expansion. Other than that, it's basically the same game. You don't get, obviously, the expansion gameplay content, the story content, and it is not available for Druid and Assassin because Druid and Assassin were added with the expansion. You can also toggle on Hardcore, where once you die, your character file just gets like deleted. I think it actually just gets marked as unplayable, and they stay on your character select screen just as kind of a tribute to your character of what level they reached. But if you want to play as a you only get one life character, they do have an option available right here where you can do that. Ta-da! Here we are in the good old land of 2000, and let's show you what I'm talking about when I say they don't have a lot of options in this game. Here's my sound options. Once you get into the game, you actually can't select this from the menu. You get 2 sliders, whether you want 3D sound, which I can't select apparently. I'm assuming it relies on old sound cards that computers just don't have anymore. Video options. We have 2 whole resolutions. You can either be in 640 by 480 or 800 by 600. Them's your choice. It will, by default, run in full screen and stretch it to fit the screen. So you do get a sort of widescreen support in that it will stretch the image to fill the screen. Your lighting quality, I think it's just high or low, and this basically, as you can kind of see in the background there, just affects... Or I guess there is a medium. I actually don't see a difference between medium and high. Maybe it's they're animated. Blended shadows... You can kind of see the background will blend into your shadow the tiniest bit, or it'll just be a hard shadow if it's off. Contrast, I don't see much of a difference there. And that's about it. There's your settings. Not a lot to see here.
Greetings, stranger. I'm not surprised to see your kind.
We'll get into the story when I get into Resurrected, so I'm just going to kind of skip through this for now. But yeah, old school, kind of forced... fixed perspective, similar to Diablo 1, although you can see it has a bit more fluidity in how you want to run around, and you can run, instead of being stuck at a walking pace the entire time, although you can toggle that. I think there was also... Oh, I can't toggle perspective, probably because I'm in windowed mode, I'm guessing. Normally you can toggle perspective, and it will sort of pop out some of the 3D elements so that they have a bit of a... What's the term for that? Parallax scrolling when you're running? Yeah, old Fallout, yeah, for sure. Has that same kind of feel to it. You do get your potion belt just like we saw in Diablo 1, although it's a little bit less expansive, although that will expand as you get more belts. As you expand your belt, it'll get more slots. You've got your stamina for running. It does not deplete while you're in town. You've got your XP, and then you've got your character sheet. Very similar to Diablo 1. Strength, which will affect your attack damage, and I don't think it actually affects your firebolt damage, but it's showing it there. Dexterity affecting your chance to hit and your dodge chance. Your vitality affecting your stamina and your life. Your energy affecting your magic. Your experience. Every time you level up, you're going to get some points to throw into these. And then you also have your skill trees, which for her is fire, lightning, or cold. This is a brand new system that Diablo 1 did not have, that every time you level up, you can put a point into a skill. So for her, you could start putting, warmth increases the rate at which you recover mana. Your basic firebolt, once you hit level 6, I can't really mouse over it because it'll disappear here, but the tooltip there shows required level 6. That'll give you another spell. This is going to be 12, 18, 24, and then 30. And then each of your trees, you can put points across multiple trees if you want. So if you wanted to put a point or two into telekinesis, and then put a point or two into teleport, put a point into ice armor, put a point into this, you could do that. You can mix and match. That all works just fine. Another thing you'll see on some of the spells, if we look down at the bottom there, Firebolt receives bonuses from Fireball and Meteor. So each point I put into Fireball and Meteor is going to give this Firebolt a plus 16% damage bonus. So even if I'm not necessarily, once I max this out at 20 points, you can keep putting points into Fireball and Meteor, and it'll keep making this more powerful. So all of there's spell synergies, where some of your spells will buff each other, which is a fun little mechanic to have in there. If we wander around town a little bit, we can look for anybody that has an exclamation mark over their head. They will have quests for us, like this lady right here
Greetings, young
is going to give
sorcerer.
us a
There's a
quest. I'm going to ignore it for now. We'll get into the quests when we get to Resurrected. You've got a mini map, I believe. No, that's not it. How do I move the mini map? There's a way to move it around and have it reposition itself so that it's filling the whole screen, or you can just kind of have it in the upper right here. There's a variety of characters in town you can talk to. You've got some shops, you've got all that stuff. And then as we head out into the game,
evil beware.
it has a procedurally generated series of maps. So this map is not going to be the same every time I play. Matter of fact, the exit from the camp is not going to be the same every time you play. It can be on, I believe, all 4 sides of this one. You can head out into the wilderness. She sent us to look for this den of evil to clear it out. You wander around, you kill enemies, they drop stuff. We'll take a look here at real quick. Alright, there we go. We got our first drop. One of the new things this game added is the ability to hold either Alt or, for me, one of the side mouse buttons to highlight items that are on the ground. Ta-da! You run over this. It doesn't do anything. In this Diablo, you have to manually click on literally everything. There's no auto gold pickup, there's no auto anything pickup. You have to manually pick it up if you want to use it. You run around, you smack stuff. XP shrines, it's a little bit more obvious what they're doing in this game. It's not like Diablo 1 where you really have no idea what the hell the shrine did until you go and look at all your stats and see if something changed. This one's a little bit more straightforward to figure out. But yeah, pretty straightforward. Nothing super fancy. If we take a look at my inventory here, you do get 2 weapon slots now, so you can swap back and forth between weapons, have a couple different builds available. You've got all your gear slots, very similar to Diablo 1. I think belt is the only new slot they really added. Maybe gloves. I don't remember if there were gloves in Diablo 1. There might not have been. Or boots. It might have actually just been the rings, the necklace, these 2, and your weapons, now that I'm thinking about it. I think these 3 down here were new. But yeah, you're going to have your basic stuff on there. Your weapons are going to occasionally have some bonuses. Like, I'm getting a rank of Firebolt from this staff right now. I wouldn't normally have a rank of Firebolt, which I haven't actually been using, but if I can hit a new level, we'll show something off. Let me find an enemy to hit. I want to show this off because this is one of the changes they made in Resurrected. It's really nice. I'm about to gain a new level. I just need to find an enemy to kill. I think probably the next thing I kill is going to do it. Is anyone around here? Anyone at all? Here we go. There's some enemies. Let's throw some fireballs at them. Alright, we got a new level. If I put a point into, say... Oh. Cursor is not locked to screen here either. Put a point into Ice Bolt. If I pull this up now, this is your full skill tree, all the different abilities I have. Town Portal and Identifier, because I have a scroll of those in my inventory. And then Ice Bolt, Firebolt, your basic attack. You can throw your equipped item if you have a throwing weapon, or unsummon to release a summoned creature. Everybody has these ones by default. These are your skills, these are your scrolls. This game by default has a shortcut system of using the function keys, so F1, F2. On that, and once you have assigned things to the function keys, you can't have multiple abilities selected. So for example, on left click, I could assign one over here. Hey Zan, how's it going? You can have your one of my abilities over here, my other ability over there. If it got to the point that I had 3 abilities though, I wouldn't be able to assign multiple. And then what you can do is if you use your scroll wheel, it will toggle between what abilities you have on the right mouse. So you're stuck to only having 2 abilities active at any time, but you can scroll between them to select. That's the basic gist of this one. There's 5 acts, there's a bunch of quests. We'll see more of this in just a second. Bug Shooter of the car game? Wait, Bug Shooter? Wait, it wasn't Starship Troopers, was it? Because I want to take a look at that. Alright, we're going to real quick exit out of this. Give me just a second here to... Alright, how do I... We're going to hide you. And we're going to close this. And we're going to relaunch the real version of this game. And then I need to reset up my just remove that from my scene now? Yes. We're gonna get that out, and then we're gonna get this back. Sorry, getting that captured was a bit of a... There we go, that's what I was looking for. Carx drift online, friend gives to me to decide. Yeah, that was because... Sorry, it should be fixed now. It was because when I had to capture the original Diablo 2, I had to add a new layer in, and I don't think I moved it down properly on the tier list because I had to use window capture. Game capture and screen capture would not work because it's a horrendously ancient game from before the dawn of Windows. Well, not quite before the dawn of Windows, but I think that game was designed with Windows 98 in mind. So a little on the old side. But now we get this, which is probably horrendously quiet because I think I actually had the volume turned down on this one. So I'm gonna real quick pop that up. That should be more in line with what I'm looking for. Yes, it's a slight change in graphical fidelity between the original and the resurrected version. Give me just a second to poke this. I just want to get this dialed in. Hopefully that's like reasonable without being overwhelming. If it needs any tweaking on the volume, let me know. But yes, Diablo 2. Bump main sound down by 20 or each by 10. Give me one sec. I'll actually probably just poke it through here. Oh, actually, you know what? That's not a bad idea. We'll do... main sound is like sound effects, so let's do them each by 10 and we'll see how that looks. Alright, that should hopefully be more reasonable. Yeah, that overhaul. Alright, let's take a look at the cinematic. We'll start with the first one, and I'll actually show it in the legacy format. So this is what the original cinematic would have looked like if I could have gotten the cinematics working there in the old one. This is sort of your intro to the story. And we're actually going to watch this one twice, because I'm going to watch it with the enhanced version shortly afterwards. I'm watching my sound meter here to make sure it doesn't immediately spike through the roof. Is this showing the legacy? It is. This is the old cinematic from 2000. I'm going to lower it just a little bit more on this end. Just a tiny bit. That should hopefully be about right. Starship Troopers Extermination in Early Access. Yes, that looks really good. I hope it's fun. I'll check out your VOD later, actually, because I want to see what that game looks like. It looks super interesting.
So, Marius, at last I find you.
Tyrael. Yes, now I recognize you. I should have known
When you
you'd
say
travel
Starship
in
Troopers is a
disguise.
bit buggy, is that a pun, or is it like actually glitchy?
They're always
Because I'm
watching.
expecting it to be a bit buggy.
I've been searching for you for a long
Did
time.
you do Tyrael or did you do Imperius,
I was rather beginning
Zanvi?
to think you didn't want to be found.
I remember you did that really awesome Imperius cosplay setup for someone.
Wasn't my fault.
Not your
We'll be
fault.
seeing Imperius
Tell me,
Wednesday
Marius,
night.
how was it not your fault?
I'm doing Diablo 3 Wednesday night, so we'll be seeing Imperius
The
then.
Wanderer. Yes, it was the Wanderer.
Also, this cutscene still looks really
My
good for being from
days
2000.
on the Citadel seemed so long ago. I sought refuge from my memories in the company of other outcasts, high in the mountains past the Eastern Gate.
Do you want something?
they might have done some enhancements on this, honestly, because I don't think this looked quite this good in Diablo 2 original. Especially because it would have been running at like 800 by 600 resolution.
And the evil which had claimed it, dreams, memories. I couldn't tell the difference anymore.
It'd be odd if they did do some enhancements, considering they also completely redid the cinematics. We're going to show the remastered version of this afterwards, but...
How had he found me here? How could this broken shell of a man, barely able to carry the weight of his own sword, be the burning terror?
About 5% up. Give me just a second.
Drove me to hide
Let's try it about there. Just tweaking it on the Streamlabs side, so hopefully that'll be enough.
He seemed to have demons of his own that he struggled to contain. And he was losing.
I love these monsters. They're so fun looking.
As I watched, I became convinced that I was truly mad. The terror, the destruction.
Yeah, the fire sprites are super cool looking.
I witnessed.
Although my favorite's coming up in a second.
I explained them. Were these the demons from my dream, or were they born within the
My Skelly boys! Get them! Alright everybody, back into the fire, we're out of here. I wanted to look at this. Yeah, the fire does actually part for him as he's walking out. Yeah, I love that. I love that little, like,
Why
glance
did
at the
I
pipe
follow
and just like, I gotta quit this shit. And then he just drops
Why
it.
did things happen
Oh, it's so
to
good.
you in dreams? All I know is that when he beckoned,
I think I'll probably turn the subtitles on too going forward, just because the audio is a
from that
little quiet.
we
For the
traveled
voice.
together east, always into the east.
So there you go. The start of this. I always feel so bad for Marius because he's just like so in over his head. Like this is, he did not sign up for any of this. All right, let's real quick. We're gonna rewatch that now. Except I'm going to toggle on subtitles. Also, yes, apply. Yes, significantly more graphic settings of options available here. You've got very many things to choose from. Dynamic resolution scaling. I mean, you also have your legacy video options, which is the same thing we would have seen in Diablo 2 original. David Marius did not deserve this. Yeah, that's definitely a reference to this guy. Here, real quick, we'll we're going to go through the whole story today. I'm going to start a new character and just mess around a little bit to show off the basic gameplay loop. And then we're going to jump onto one of my higher level characters and just play through the story, like the important story bits, just kind of jumping from story bit to story bit. Because I don't have time to play through the whole thing in depth today. But we'll go through all the bosses and major plot events and everything. And yes, here's the remastered cinematic. Already with a significantly fuzzier looking tarantula. And a slightly less cartoonish looking Marius. I remember when this first played, there were people that thought that they'd just like AI upscaled it. It's like there is no, this is not just an AI upscale. This is very much like fully redone from the ground up, but like extremely faithful to the original cinematic.
So, Marius, at last I find you.
Like even that, like that's very much the modern, image of Tyrael that we're seeing there.
I should have known you'd travel in disguise. They're always watching.
I've been searching for you for a long time, Marius. I was rather beginning to think you didn't want to be found.
Oh, forgive me, Tyrael, please. It wasn't my fault.
Not your fault. Tell me, Marius, how was it not your fault?
The Wanderer. Yes, it was the Wanderer.
I think a lot of it just came down to the fact that the original cinematics do actually hold up fairly well, but no, this is very much just redone from the ground up. It's just very faithfully done.
In the company of other outcasts, high in the mountains past the eastern gate.
Do you want something?
Oh, I fought sleep for days at a time. For when I dreamt, the memories would return. Memories of the monastery and the evil which had claimed it. Dreams, memories. I couldn't tell the difference anymore. Had the evil from my dreams followed me at my heels? How had he found me here? How could this broken shell of a man, barely able to carry the weight of his own sword, be the burning terror which drove me to hide here? He seemed to have demons of his own. He struggled to contain. And he was losing. As I watched, I became convinced that I was truly mad. The terror, the destruction.
Oh no, all the monster designs in this just
evil
look so
I
good.
witnessed. How else could I explain them? Were these the demons from my dream, or were they born within the wonder?
And my Skelly boys! Oh, it didn't capture that voice whispering Marius. Interesting.
Why did I follow him?
But yeah, these cutscenes look
Right.
phenomenal. I mean,
Why do things happen as they do in dreams?
absolutely knocked it out of the park here.
All I know is
All this,
that
the
if
fire
I
effects in this
had
look
to
incredible. Like,
follow him.
Marius, yeah, he's out of here, man. I've had
We
enough.
traveled together, east. Always.
Like, that's some of the best looking, like, CG animated flames I think I've ever seen. Like, they're really, really top notch. Alright, so now we can get into the actual game. Yeah, no, I mean, like, that is incredibly faithful to the original cinematic with just more detail. Like, it just looks nicer. We will get through the rest of these as we go through the story. I'm going to create a new character real quick just to, like, mess around. As you can already see, this looks just incredible. I mean, top notch. And, fun one, if you hit F5, oh, does it not work from here? Oh, I guess I have to do it from back there. You can actually toggle this back into classic. G? How do I... Where is it? Which one of these do I hit to toggle the graphics? Can I not toggle it from here? Oh, wait, it's... Duh. It's this right here, the toggle button. You can actually go back to the original graphics if you want to. So if you want to see the game as the original game, that's still in here. You don't even need to, like... Even though they left the original game as is, and you can still play it with full original online functionality, this includes the entire original game without anything. Use it for the invisible elites. That's true. If I run into any invisible elites, I can... I don't think I'll be running into any of them. If I do, if you find a mod for that, let me know. But no, we'll take a look into this. My main character that I'm going to be like going through the big story bits on is going to be a necromancer, so I think I'm not going to pick a necromancer for this opening bit. I think we'll do a paladin for the opening bits. And we'll just do, yeah, my channel name there for... oh, I missed a letter. Good lord, I can't even spell my own name. Falling apart here. And then you have your usual ladder if you want to create an online ladder character that offers some extra content, hardcore, or if you want to play as the pre-expansion without Lord of Destruction enabled, you can do that. Say again, will not work for Assassin or Druid because they weren't here back then. So we can go ahead and create this. We've now got him. We can go ahead and pop into play. You've also got the online lobby where you can like go in and create a game. It works just like the classic Diablo 2 lobby, including the functional chat gem if you need that. And then you've got all of your games you can select from. You can create your own game. Blah, 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 blah. You know what? We'll just real quick go ahead and pop one into here. And we're just going to set max player count to 1 and go into normal. You can have some extra options on. This is a new thing they added, Terrorize, or once you've made it to max level, you can go ahead and have zones like right here. Corrupted tremors strike the cathedral and catacombs, or where they reside from. How do you even pronounce that? Neolithok's Temple and Temple Halls. There'll be a couple of zones that have stronger than normal enemies that can show up, and you can fight some extra tough enemies for some fancy loot and stuff. Then via hella quick free emotes. Oh, I feel that. Item spacing lets you, when items drop, they won't drop immediately next to each other, so it's a little easier to click on the specific items you want. That's a new quality of life thing they added into this. But yeah, we'll go ahead and create a new game real quick, pop in. I don't think it plays the opening cinematic when you do this, no. And ta-da! Welcome back to the Rogue encampment with Wariv slowly following me to tell me about the first quests. And, again, even in-game, you can just toggle back and forth if you want to see how this all looks. It looks quite nice in the enhanced version, and I think there's also a zoom. Where does that live? Yeah, on Z. So if you want to zoom in and get a nice close look at any of this, you can get a nice close look at some of that, which was not available in the original. I don't think you can even... Oh, you can do it in the... They retroactively added that to the original, so if you want to zoom in and get a really close look at them pixels, you can do that. But let's start off talking to Wariv.
Well met, noble paladin. It's been a while since I've seen any of your kind in the West. It would be an honor to aid you in any way that I can. No doubt you've heard about the tragedy that befell the town of Tristram. Some say that Diablo, the Lord of Terror, walks the world again. I don't know if I believe that, but a dark wanderer did travel this route a few weeks ago. He was headed east to the mountain pass guarded by the rogue monastery. Maybe it's nothing, but evil seems to have trailed in his wake. You see, shortly after the wanderer went through, the monastery's gates to the pass were closed, and strange creatures began ravaging the countryside. Until it's safer outside the camp and the gates are reopened, I'll remain here with my caravan. I hope to leave for Lutga Lane before the shadow that fell over Tristram consumes us all. If you're still alive then, I'll take you along. You should talk to Akara, too. She seems to be the leader of this camp. Maybe she can tell you more.
Alright. I'm also going to try something real quick. We're just going to bump this back up just to see if that helps with the voice volume. Tristram's literally the center for everything bad. Yes, so this is about, I think, supposed to be about a year or so after Diablo 1. We're nearby to Tristram, but not, like, super close. We're, like, across a mountain pass from there. Can't think of a single bad thing that's happened there. The Dark Wanderer that you saw at the beginning there is supposed to be the warrior character from Diablo 1, which we saw at the ending cinematic there yesterday. After defeating Diablo, shoves Diablo's soul stone straight into his head like an idiot, and potentially got a little possessed. And so now we've seen him, he's now wandering across the land, heading east, and we're trying to figure out why.
Hello.
We can talk to Akara here.
I am Akara, High Priestess of the Sisterhood of the Sightless Eye. I welcome you, traveler, to our camp, but I'm afraid I can offer you but poor shelter within these rickety walls. You see, our ancient sisterhood has fallen under a strange curse. The mighty citadel, from which we have guarded the gates to the east for generations, has been corrupted by the evil demoness Andariel. I still can't believe it. She turned many of our sister rogues against us and drove us from our ancestral home. Now the last defenders of the sisterhood are either dead or scattered throughout the wilderness. I implore you, stranger, please help us. Find a way to lift this terrible curse, and we will pledge our loyalty to you for all time.
Alright. And I think she's about to have another one.
There is a place of great evil in the wilderness. Kasha's rogue scouts have informed me that a cave nearby is filled with shadowy creatures and horrors from beyond the grave. I fear that these creatures are massing for an attack against our encampment. If you are sincere about helping us, find the dark labyrinth and destroy the foul beasts. May the Great Eye watch over you.
Alright, and very similar to Diablo 1, you can go around talking to everybody. They'll have quests, their introduction, which is what you heard the first time you talked to them, gossip, which will be a bit of unique dialogue. Must bed job if you want to wake up at a reasonable time and do a small stream tomorrow. Well, have fun. Take care, Stubbs. It's good seeing you. I'll be doing Diablo 3 Wednesday night too. If you want to see that, we'll be back with that Wednesday, and then Diablo 4 probably Thursday night. So it's gonna be a whole week of Diablo. But yeah, you've got your introduction, gossip, which just gives you a little bit of background on the character. Den of Evil, which will be about the quest she just gave us.
Add that many rogue scouts have died in that horrible.
If you go around to everybody in town, I will run real quick, please, so that I can. Oh right, I have my controls set all goofy. I forgot I did that. I moved my potions to the QWERTY keys and put my shortcuts on the numbers. Anyways, to go around and talk to everybody, they will each have introduction gossip. They'll each have something to say about the Den of Evil.
One who seeks that cave seeks death.
You can go around and get a little bit of update every time you get... I just did it again. What's quest log is on J. I'm used to the classic Diablo controls where Q was quests and R was run. And now Q and R are my potions. Gonna take a little bit of getting used to on that. But yes, you get your quest log here showing me Den of Evil. You can play the quest dialogue from her you first got it. And then as you progress through, there will be various updates to the quests. Like, when I first discover the cave, look for the den in the wilderness. Well, once I find that, that's going to update. And at that point, you can actually come back and everyone's dialogue will update. And there'll be unique dialogue for each stage of the quest that you're on. So if you want to get the full story experience, you kind of have to pop back to town fairly often to update your quest dialogue, which I planned to do. That was when I was hoping to do the, like, full, playthrough and cover all of the lore in, like, really extensive detail. That's what I wanted to do, was do a playthrough where I actually got all of the unique quest dialogue and went through the entire game. I am very much not going to have time for that. That takes like 8 hours per act if you really want to get a full in-depth thing, and there's 5 acts to this game, so I just don't have that much time available. So instead, we'll play a little bit here just to show off how the basic gameplay to this works. You've got your enemy health bars up there at the top, the name, all that. Some fun stuff that they added in this is the reflections in this water here. Where you can actually see my character reflected in the water. Very much not there in the original version. Go ahead and start killing our way through all this. It has the same, like, you can see the potions that drop if you want. You can toggle that on or off. You can have it on a hold. That's all pretty much the same as it's always been. If we take a look at my inventory, it is a little bit expanded. It's a little hard to see, but I think they added like an extra 2 rows onto your inventory over here. So it's a little bigger than it would have been normally. And then your stash back in town has a few extra tabs, and it's a little bit larger than normal. Just because they wanted to make it a little easier to deal with inventory management in this version, which is very welcome. Actually, the player inventory might be the same size. I don't even remember. Throwing knives are pretty valuable. I'll take that. I'll take a key for now. Normally I wouldn't even bother with that later, but starting out, not a bad idea. We can run around and hack our way through some basic monsters. XP bar right here. Your health, your mana, all that fun stuff. All of your menus. Where does skill tree live? That's still on T? Okay, good. If I hit that, I'm not going to accidentally open anything stupid. Good, 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 good. Let's cut through all this real quick. Oh, what the hell? See if we can get... one of the new changes. Auto gold pickup. If you just run over gold, it'll just automatically pick up. That is toggleable in the menu. There are quite a few if we go under gameplay here. Options: auto gold pickup, auto party invite. If someone joins a server in a multiplayer, you can automatically invite them to the party so that you share XP and quests instead of having to manually invite them. This is very nice if you're doing like group, like bail runs or boss runs or something, so it'll just automatically get everybody into the same party without having to manually like /P everybody, which can be a bit of a pain in the old version. Quick cast skills is going to be a big one. We'll take a look at that once I get to having a few more skills available. And then display active skill bindings is related to that. The new key bindings is very nice. You can confine the mouse cursor to the window, which I actually probably should do, so it doesn't accidentally wander over into my Streamlabs. And then, yeah, some different user interface stuff. You can have the text toggleable. Lurk, I'm finishing up Critical Role. This looks better than D3 playing on PS4. I would hope so. This came out, God, almost 10 years after D3. So, yeah, it should look a little better. I think this came out last year. Or, yeah, it was late last year. Mid last year? Early last year? Around this time last year? I don't even remember. Alright, let's get some more potions going. And on my map there, we can see I just found the Den of Evil, which is what we were looking for earlier. So now we can pop on into here. And where did my sound go? Oh, okay, it's fine now. The sound just decided it didn't feel like being there for a second. That's a little odd. The mobile reaction was a flop. Yeah, I mean, Diablo Immortal eventually did come out. I think also came out last year, but yeah, it's not very good. I played it a little bit just to see if I was, you know, being too harsh on it, and I don't think I was. And yes, now that I've gotten into here, you see the quest dialogue has changed to kill all monsters in the den. If I pop back to town now, I would get some extra dialogue from people. We've also gained a level, so let's go ahead and get that set up. You're at BlizzCon Immortals announcement was hilarious. Oh, I bet. I mean, that one, the famous red shirt guy. What was his question even? So it's like, we just asked, like, so it's like, is it coming to PC at all, or like, and they were just like, well, don't you guys have phones? Like, that was, oh man, they got roasted so hard on that. He did, I think, more damage to their brand than just about anything else. Oh, I bet. That was like, yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm fine with there being a Diablo game on the phones, but when that's like the big announcement they made, because they didn't even announce Diablo 4 at that point, they were just announcing that. That's like, guys, especially considering it ended up getting delayed to the point that it came out like in close proximity to Diablo 4, just announce Diablo 4 at the same time as you're announcing Diablo Immortal. Give people the big thing they want, and then like tack on a little like, hey, by the way, you're getting a mobile game to go along with it. Isn't that fun? And nobody would have cared. Everyone would have been like, oh yeah, sure, I'm not planning to play that, but I guess it's nice that it exists. Instead, when you make that the big, like, this is our impressive announcement, especially considering they spent the year before that hyping up, like, hey everybody, this is going to be the year of Diablo. We're going to have a bunch of exciting Diablo announcements this year. And then that was the only announcement they had, was that they were releasing Immortal. Like, come on. They didn't even announce this. Diablo 2 Resurrected was announced after Diablo Immortal. It's like, guys, you could have just told us that we had some interesting stuff to look forward to, and we wouldn't have cared about Immortal. Like, one way or the other. We wouldn't have had a negative reaction or a positive reaction. It would have just been like, yeah, okay, I guess that's a thing I'm not going to play. Like, so stupid. I do feel bad, I want to say, I feel bad for the presenters that were on stage that day, because, like, they were kind of in an impossible situation there. Like, I'm sure they knew going onto that stage that people were not going to be happy about this announcement, and, like, they had a job to do. You gotta go up on stage and say something, so, like, sucks, but I guess you're gonna have to deal with it. Also, yeah, here, real quick, we're gonna take a look at my skills. So, Paladin's a weird one. We've got our auras, and then we've got our offensive auras, defensive auras, and then combat skills. So if I have Smite, temporarily stun your enemy by bashing it with your shield, and I have Sacrifice, increased accuracy and damage at the cost of life. If I put a point to both of these right now, if you're thinking the way it worked in classic Diablo is that I'm going to have my left click and my right click, and I'm only going to be able to assign each one to, you know, like, I could assign Smite to right click and, you know, Sacrifice to left click or whatever, and then use the mouse wheel to scroll back and forth with my 1 to 8 to bind. Not quite. You can actually, if I bind both of them and get rid of it, you'll now see them showing up down here, and both of my left and right click are still going to be just basic attack. And now I've got, like, quick cast, more like a traditional, or modern, I should say, like, action game, where I just press the 1 or the 2 key and it casts that spell, instead of having to scroll my wheel back and forth to get the right click to toggle to the skill that I want it to be. Significant improvement. It's not as big of a deal for a class like Paladin here, where you're not really, like, cycling through all of your skills super fast. You're basically going to have, like, an offensive aura available, and then whatever your primary attack is, and that's pretty much all you're going to be doing. So, like, you're pretty much a one-button class anyway. But for classes like Assassin, I think it's probably the first time I would consider Assassin a, like, functional, playable class. Assassin was almost unplayable in the original version of the game because you had to cycle through abilities so often. Because their whole like mechanic, if you wanted to go the combat route, was that you needed to build up, combo points and then spend them with a finisher, and different combo points would provide different effects on your finisher. So you'd have to cycle through all of your different combo builders and then your finisher and then back and forth, and it just made it a mess. Like, it wasn't a very fun class to play, and it wasn't even very reliable. A lot of the times it just wouldn't work. And now you've got actual like options. Alright, let's cut through these guys real quick. Just watching my health a little to make sure I don't end up getting tanked too hard. We've got this fancy blue guy up here. Corpse Fire. Undead with Spectral Hit. Spectral Hit is basically enchanted damage, but it also cuts through any armor. It completely bypasses all of your armor, which is a bit concerning. I'm just going to watch my health here and make sure I'm not getting chunked too hard. Oh! And it's slowing me a little bit because he's got cold damage on him. Alright, we're good to go. He's dead. Grab all this stuff. Apparently I haven't finished the quest, which means there's still some more monsters around here somewhere. Let's go hunting down the last of them. I have a feeling they're down in the southern bit there because I didn't actually loop down to the south. So we can just loop back on around down to here. Stamina Shrine. I'll take it. Unlimited running is always useful. I also do have my stats available now. I think I'm going to have 10 points available, 5 points per level to spend. The typical recommendation in this game is you're going to want to hit your strength and dex to just equip whatever gear you want, like the minimum requirements for equipping your gear, and then pretty much just dump everything into vitality. And that is true for pretty much every character class in this game and every build you're going to do. Energy only increases your mana, and there's enough items that give you bonus mana and mana regen and mana steal and ways to reduce the cost of your spells and blah 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 blah, that having high mana isn't super important. Early game on a caster class, you might want to put a few points into mana just to make sure you actually can cast your skills reliably, but once you start getting some better gear and upgrades to your skills, you're just not going to need it. And then strength and dex, you're going to get so much extra strength and dex off of your equipment that just meeting the base requirements for equipping it is all you really need, and then you can rely on your equipment to get you the rest of what you need for your stats. And the rest of it can just go into health, and then that means you can survive longer, which is generally just a good idea. Alright, hold up. Cut through all these. Get over to these guys so they stop reviving your friends. Everybody's dead. We're a little low on health, but I think we're about to kill the last enemy down here. Look at that. Also, what was that,
My duty here is
Terror
done.
approaches Sanctuary. Oh, right, they're probably about to switch the terrorized zones. That's fine. You'll occasionally see messages down here of, like, events that are happening in the game, which can include, like, some of the elite bosses spawning. There's, like, world bosses that can spawn in occasionally if people summon enough stuff. So if you see some of those messages, it can be worth taking a look just to see what they say. It shouldn't affect a low-level character, like, by level 3, I think he is right now. Yeah, Paladin is not going to be affected by world bosses spawning in, but later game, it's good to know if you've got a world boss that's potentially lurking around a corner somewhere. But yeah, you finish up your quests, you bring it back. She's going to give me a little bit of extra dialogue.
You've earned my trust, and may yet restore my faith in humanity. Your reward is training in the skill of your choice.
This one gives you an extra skill point to spend, which is very handy, so I've got one extra skill point I can throw in whatever I want. For example, my Might Aura. And now that I have the Might Aura, I can go ahead and slap that on my second hand, and I've just got Might available at all times. I haven't actually... Yeah, I can't put auras on the left click, so that makes sense. Now any extra characters I have, any summons, any companions, anything like that, which we'll actually get into in just a second here, would benefit from this aura as well. Other players.
I know you're here to challenge the evil that's driven us from our ancestral home. But know this. Akara may be our spiritual leader, but I command the rogues in battle. It will take more than just killing a few beasts in the wilderness to earn my trust. My rogue scouts have just reported an abomination in the monastery graveyard. Apparently, Andariel is not content to take only our living. Bloodraven, one of our finest captains in the battle against Diablo at Tristram, was also one of the first to be corrupted by Andario. Now you'll find her in the monastery graveyard, raising our dead as zombies. We cannot abide this defilement. If you are truly our ally, you will help us destroy her.
So a fun thing to note here, they mentioned that Bloodraven, one of our finest captains in the battle against Diablo at Tristram. That is because Bloodraven is the rogue player character from Diablo 1. The characters from Diablo 1 all canonically have names and identities, and you meet all of them in this game. The warrior ends up becoming the Dark Wanderer, the rogue ends up becoming Bloodraven, and we're about to go kill her because she's been corrupted by the Demon Queen Andariel and is now raising the rogue corpses as undead. Do I want to equip any of this gear I got, by the way? Not seeing anything that's like jumping out at me as like super useful. Wands are a necromancer unique.
Good evening.
Let's real quick identify some of this stuff just to get it out of my inventory so I can sell it. They're both requires Dex 21. It's probably worth putting a couple of points in the Dex then just so that I can have that. Give me... I don't have enough gold for that. Oh god, this is rough. Let's sell some stuff then so that I can have enough gold for that. What's this sword doing for me? 2 to 7? 1 to 7? Nope. Alright. Don't really need any of the rest of this. Can I afford... I guess we'll sell the keys. Yeah, give me 3 of these if we could, and then we'll real quick just go over and, oh, I didn't actually need 3. That's fine. We can afford to sell some of this stuff. These sell for surprisingly much, like 720 for that, 720 for that. Throwing knives are just, like, really high value in this game for some reason. Definitely worth hanging on to if you see any. We can also ditch this gem because I don't have anything socketed. I'm not going to for a long time. Alright, that'll do. Oh, I should probably repair my gear, too. Definitely worth throwing some repairs on my gear, and maybe we'll see what the stat requirements are for some of the basic gear, just so that I can get my stats dumped in. Go ahead, repair all my equipment. Looks good. Armor. Strength of 27, so we're probably going to want our strength up to about 30, and then dex up to about 25, if I can pull that off. Easy. Let's throw some stats in like that. That should allow me to equip any gear I find for a little while without too much problem. I was like, I don't remember what kind of dex stats you want for an endgame paladin without going and looking up all the gear off, online, but that's fine. There'll definitely be at least Dex 30 if I had to guess, because that's still relatively low in the grand scheme of things, and a lot of the gear is just going to require base stats that you'd need. Not that I'm planning on probably finishing this character, but good to have anyways. Ooh, that water actually looks surprisingly nice. There is a day-night cycle, so you'll see, like, right now we're at night. Over time, that will eventually change into daytime. You can eventually see different, it's not really any changes from that. I keep hitting the toggle run button. It's G now, or mouse 5. I keep hitting R and drinking a potion because I'm so used to the classic controls. Alright, in we go. Waypoints. This was a new thing in Diablo 2 that they didn't have in the first one. You can now access a waypoint, which will allow me to teleport right back to the camp without having to waste a town portal, and teleport back out into the field, again, without having to worry about town portals. There are quite a few of them you can see here in Act 1, and you'll be getting Act 2, 3, 4, and 5 as we progress through the game. Let's see what we got here. You can usually, even though these are procedurally generated maps, follow the roads to get where you're going in Act 1. That's not necessarily true in all of the acts. Like Act 2, for example, in the desert, you can follow absolutely nothing and have fun. But Act 1, if you just follow the road, it'll get you where you're going. There are some rules for how the procedural generation works, like there's going to be 2 exits here from Cold Plains. One's going to lead to the graveyard, one's going to lead to a stony field, and there is actually a, like, method to the madness on that, as far as which one is which. I don't remember the rules on all of that. There's charts online you can look up that'll explain how it all works. Hello, Dragoon Tai. How's it going? 1 second here to... Oh, God. For you, a shout-out. Once I can not die. Maybe I will unbind that. Nah, it's fine. I get that? Yes. Fantastic. Playing Diablo 2 Resurrected. Fantastic. How's it going? Hope you're having fun. What kind of class were you playing? What you have going on? I am just starting off a Paladin here just to kind of showcase all the Diablo games before 4 comes out. So I'm planning to play through a little bit of this, not really like super focused right now on anything, and then I'm going to switch into one of my other characters. Work on Holy Grail, okay. What have you got? Yeah, working on just like showcasing the game. So after I get a little bit farther into this and we've seen some of this, I'm going to jump over to one of my slightly higher leveled characters and then showcase as much of the story as I can in one stream. I'm going to hopefully just be able to cover like all of the main plot beats by just jumping onto a not quite max level character but close to, and then just running through it. But for now, we're just hacking our way through on our way to Bloodraven. I'm trying to think, I think you actually do end up killing all of the Diablo 1 player characters by the end of the game. Because Bloodraven's the rogue, Dark Wanderer is the warrior, and we find the sorcerer too, in Act 2. And I think all of them end up dead by the end of this. Alright, keep hacking our way through that. Let's go, alright. Get out of here. I ended up killing Ubers who got torched. Nice! Fantastic. I don't think I ever even bothered with Ubers in Resurrected yet. Like, I've got a character that's probably about ready for it, but I don't think I've ever actually gone back and bothered with it. I did it a couple of times back in, like, the original game, but never, like, super devoted. Certainly never enough to get, like, max roll for the class I needed. Alright. Kill all of you. Let's see if I can find my way down to... Yeah. Really? A portal shrine. Why not? So where is... Yeah, that's just the road leading me to there. Is there nothing this way? No. Okay, that's not the right way forward. We're good. It's so long since I've, like, memorized all the, like, how to tell which route is the right route forward tricks for this. Alright, get out of my way, all of you. But yeah, this does look... The graphics on this is fantastic. If I'm not mistaken, the way they're running this is that they actually have, like, the original version of the game effectively running in the background, and then they're just using the data from that to render this new version, which is why it was able to stay so, like, accurate to the way stats and, you know, gameplay mechanics worked in the original Diablo 2, as opposed to, like, Warcraft 3 Reforged, where everything just kind of broke when it came out. This one stayed very true to how the original game played, including some of the, like, glitches and bugs from the original game that were a bit on the weird side, actually converted over into Resurrected. And when they went in and fixed some of the stuff, it actually did allow for them to go back, and that meant they had to fix it in the actual original code, meaning you can go back and play the original Diablo 2 now, and it's gotten a couple of patches in the last year that, like, added fixes they've done in Resurrected. I think they actually finally fixed the, what are they called? Tomb Vipers that were in Nilithak's temple. They don't actually do the ridiculous, like, their poison clouds aren't invisible and deal, like, 10,000 damage a tick, or whatever the hell it was. It was so broken back in the day. Because they had it, like, improperly flagged as the physical attack instead of the poison dot, which was, just awful. But they fixed a few things like that, which have been nice to see. It's just nice in general seeing this game get a little bit of a, like, attention again after 23 years. Ooh. Really? Also playing online, yes, I'm imagining while streaming I might have the occasional bit of latency while my stream decides it's going to eat some bandwidth for a minute there. I think that slight teleport forward. What the hell are you? I mean, it's not terrible. Poison resist +5 is pretty good. Yeah, alright, sure. I'll take that, and if we'll identify that in a minute, see what we get out of that. I should probably put some points into some skills in a minute. I've basically just been putting points into random skills just as I'm showcasing the character. I'm not planning on playing this guy particularly long-term, so don't have any particular build in mind or anything, and I'm definitely not going to be getting high enough level or gear to get any of the actual functional builds. A lot of the things you'll see with, like, Paladin, you'll see a lot of Hammerdins, you'll see a lot of Zealadins. I tend to go Zealadin, I think it's more fun. That would be if you eventually level up into... this skill right here allows you to attack multiple adjacent enemies with a single attack. That first level is 2 hits. It basically just means every time I click, I do a series of rapid attacks in quick succession. That eventually caps out at 5, and the mana cost eventually drops to 0. So you just end up being like an incredibly fast attacking, like, melee character, which is my preferred method of doing this. The other one you'll see a lot of is Blessed Hammers, which is this one right here. Summons an ethereal hammer that spirals outwards, damaging enemies. As you level that up, the damage gets significantly higher, and the boosts from Blessed Aim and Vigor can pump that up to some pretty insane damage. And if you manage to get your placement right, those hammers circling will just stack up on enemies and do a ton of damage. With the right abilities to get your cast rate up and all that stuff, you can just spam a pile of hammers out and watch everything in the surrounding zip code die. Alright, let's get in there and deal with Bloodraven. Is this an actual, like, I can walk through that? It doesn't quite look like it. It's a little hard for me to tell now, sometimes, what areas I can walk through and what areas I can't, because I'm used to things looking like this. And, like, this is a lot more clear that you would not be able to, like, walk over that necessarily. Whereas this, it kind of looks like I could maybe just kind of, you know, step over that little bit. My brain's not used to how some of these new graphics read just yet. Alright, cut through all this. I see you up there. Oh my god, what was that lag? Bloodraven, get over here. Let's just burn a bunch of sacrifices to kill her real quick. Do you want to hit her? Get in there. Down she goes. And yeah, low-level sacrifice, the amount of health you're losing is so inconsequential, it's not even worth worrying about. You can just throw a pile of that on her. You can also take her down incredibly quickly with, like, strangle potions, like strangling gas potions. Not a terribly tough fight at all. If you just try to run in and left click her and you're not worried, you know, you're trying to deal with all the enemies, that can get a little overwhelming for sure, but not too bad if you just focus her down. There's some fun little side dungeons you can do here that have a, you know, boss loot chest at the end of them. If you're trying to farm some extra loot in a low-level character, you know, your first time playing the game, you're trying to get your gear up because you're not really that used to it, definitely worth checking these out. Most of the time, you can just kind of skip it, head on back to town. We'll go turn this in, and we get a new reward for this, which is going to be...
I can hardly believe that you've defeated Bloodraven.
Amplissa here.
Though she was once my closest friend, I pray that her tortured spirit remains banished forever.
Fantastic. We've got our companion, which is another new system that 2 introduced, which is you can have a follower that'll just kind of hang out with you and provide some assistance. It is still, oh, what did I get? Exploding arrow, which I don't want. Fire arrow and exploding arrow is not the preferred one. I want a cold arrow, please. Where does cold arrow... Oh! Why is it saying that's grayed out? Oh, required level 6. Got it. So they can't actually use it until they're level 6. That's fine. I'll take one of the cold arrow archers real quick. What name do I like? We'll bring Hannah along. That's fine. Yes, Mercenary will replace my current one. Ta-da. We've now got a Hannah. She'll have Cold Arrow. That's going to be better in the long run because it slows down enemies, which just makes my life significantly easier. Let's go ahead and identify a few things.
It is
We've also
clear
got another
that we are
quest here,
facing an evil difficult to
which
combat.
I believe is going to put me on the path to the Stony Field looking for... They know that now that Andariel's here, it's a sign of the return of the Hells. They want me to go find Deckard Cain in Tristram, which means we need to find a portal to Tristram, which means we need to go to the Stony Field, which means we need to go to the Darkwood to find the Tree of Inifis to recover the scroll, which will let us know what order to activate the passage to Tristram to get Diablo or Deckard Cain.
Good day.
We'll go through all that in a bit, but yes, for now, let me get these all stacked up. Alright, identify some gear. You can also buy the, like, Tomes of Identify and Tomes of Town Portal. Once you have Deckard Cain, he can identify all this stuff for free anyway, so I don't typically find Scrolls of Identify terribly useful. Town Portal, I occasionally will buy the Tome of Town Portal just so that I know that I have some on hand. Although if you're really trying to be efficient, and you want to just make sure you have one with you, it's technically more efficient to just carry one town portal with you and buy a new one every time you come back to town, because that only uses up one inventory slot instead of two. And you can put more relics and runes and stuff in your inventory. Good in the long run. That's definitely stuff you need to worry about more at the end game as opposed to the early game. Don't really need any of that. We can go ahead and put that on for now. Don't have any use for any of this stuff at the moment. Just sell all of it. And, you know what? Don't need any of you either, so off you go. But that's going to be your basic gameplay loop. I now kind of want to just focus on the actual plot and story, so I can get caught up on what the story of Diablo 2 is before Diablo 4 comes out. And seeing as I want to get through that all in one day, playing through it all is really just not an option. I don't have the time that it would take to play through an entire playthrough of Diablo 2 from start to finish, if I wanted to get all the quest dialogue and everything in there and cutscenes and all that fun stuff. So what we're going to do instead, we're going to log out, back out to the main screen, and we're going to log into one of my higher level characters. Where is he? He'll do. And we'll just dive into Nightmare difficulty, because that'll be a little more reliable for killing enemies. You can this guy has beaten Hell already. I've beaten all the bosses on Hell. However, Hell difficulty definitely has some... you can die very quickly from surprising sources in Hell difficulty. So yeah, for now we're going to stick with the Nightmare difficulty just so I can pretty reliably kill my way through bosses. You got a pile of stuff. This is what I was talking about, the expanded stashes. They added some shared slots so you can actually share gear between your characters. You've got your own character's personal slot, which I've devoted entirely to socket materials. You've got all your hotkeys now, which is very nice, although this guy is using the classic controls. Would I want to convert him over to using the more modern controls? Probably not. We'll leave him on this for now. It's fine. Give me one golem, please. I've got you here, my Act 2 mercenary, which will allow me to have a bit of a buff. He provides, like, paladin-style auras to all of your people, which is quite useful. But yeah, we're back here in the rogue camp. We can also now take a look, because this guy's finished everything, at all of the different quests and stuff. I still haven't personalized my item, which just adds a name to it, but get that eventually. We can see that I've already completed most of this stuff, but you can actually replay most of these quests anyway. Most of the bosses and stuff all respawn, so you can see all of that. You can fight your way through Tristram again, you can fight your way through all that. Is there... If I wanted to continue where we were at, if I were hunting Tristram, we'd be going to the... Oh, a terrorized zone. Speaking of the endgame content I was talking about, where they have the, like, higher level characters, apparently the Cloister's currently in a terrorized zone. But yeah, she was going to send us off to here, to the Darkwood, to look for the Tree of Inifis, so let's go and see if we can find any info about what's going on out there ourselves. Necromancer, playing as now, is going to be mostly focused on summons. I'm doing a particularly heavy summon-focused build, with Corpse Explosion and a couple of curses, which will provide debuffs to enemies. I do need to get some corpses, though, real quick, because until I have some corpses, I don't have any summons. Also, buddy, can you get over here and maybe, like, help out? There we go. Let's start getting some skeletons up. There we go, that's more like it. And we can get some monster revives going. Oh, some mages going. Let's get some monster revives in there. I think it's capped up for me around 6 right now. 6 or 7? No. Apparently it's at least 7. It's 7. Okay. There we go. Now I've got the full party here. This makes my life significantly easier having this many little add-ons running around all the time. They've apparently improved the AI on these guys too. There was a bit of an issue in the original Diablo 2, and it seemed to have been worse in Resurrected, where if you got too far away from them, they occasionally just died. Apparently that's been fixed now slightly, where they will correctly teleport closer to you if they get too far away. So now I can just kind of have my whole little minion army follow me around. We can go deal with everything. I don't really need to do much. I'm basically just going to stand at the back, cast some debuffs on people. If things get too rough, I can dive in. I've got this fancy corpse explosion skill here. That'll help clear out some any harder packs we run into, although on Nightmare difficulty, I don't think I'll have too much to worry about here. Overall, my little summon party should be able to deal with pretty much everything we've got going on in the area. Where's my Tree of Inifis, though? Because I might actually need that. In order to show Tristram, I need to open the portal to Tristram. In order to open the portal to Tristram, I think... Will it already be open because I've beaten this quest? It may already be open because I've beaten this quest, but we'll show off how you would have done it anyway. Using the higher level characters is going to make this take significantly less time, because everything dies very quickly. Also, don't really need to worry about the potions and stuff that are dropping. I'm not likely to need any of them. Where is my tree? Oh, you guys are actually champions. How fast do you die? Very fast. Nah, nothing useful there. I'm going to keep an eye out for anything that might potentially be... Nightmare actually can drop some half-decent items, even for endgame characters. Like, itemization in this game is a little wonky in that, like... specific affixes and suffixes can be very useful, regardless of like what stone they dropped from. I'm pretty good on this guy. He's not like 100% perfectly optimized, but I've gotten quite a few of the more like important ones. The only big thing I don't have is there's a rune word chest you can make called Enigma that gives him a rank of teleport, which allows you to just instantly teleport to another spot. The fun thing with that on a summoner is that it brings all of your minions along with you. So if you like teleport to directly on top of an enemy, all of your minions also teleport to directly on top of that enemy, which means they'll all be targeting him very quickly, meaning it's much faster to get through everything. Alright, we were looking for this tree. Apparently I won't be able to do anything with it because I've already done the quest. It'll drop a scroll that tells you which stones you need to activate in the stony field, which now that we've done that, we'll head on forward through to the stony field, show off where we would have been going with that. I need to find my totems now. Oh, good lord. Alright, give me some corpses. Let's clear this mess out. Grab all this gold, grab all this junk. Everybody's dying in a colossal hurry, which is just phenomenal. Alright. Cathedral and Catacombs. What catacombs are they talking about? I'm trying to think what terrorized zones are active right now. Oh god. Enemies will still hurt reasonably much, mind you. Like, I think my character's resistances are going to be pretty high because I'm geared for hell difficulty and playing on Nightmare, so I should be like well over max resistance on everything. Yeah, we're completely capped on all of it. Let's see if we can find our stone columns, the cairn stones we're looking for. Oh yeah, this book would normally have a quest for me too, but apparently I can't interact with it. It would pick you up on the quest to go kill, a side quest to go kill, what's her name? The Countess, which is based on a bit of like Eastern European folklore. I can't remember the exact name of the folklore, but a specific Countess that had a castle full of treasure that was cursed because she was so cruel to everyone that lived inside of it. And yeah, you can find a sort of Diablo imagining of that in here. It's a bit weird because it doesn't have a lot of like plot significance. It very much feels like your characters just kind of got distracted on their way to go kill Andariel and decided to go like loot a random dungeon on their way there. But I guess that is the plot of most of the Diablo games. Is a bunch of like overpowered heroes being bored and going around looting the countryside. You'd think like the return of the the actual evils from hell, the prime evils from hell, would be something important enough that they would think maybe I should focus on that. But no. We heard about money in a basement, and we had to go see it ourselves. Alright, all of you, get out of here. Where are my cairn stones? I'm actually amazed that my skeletal mages have died. They're usually pretty crap. Like, even on Nightmare, where I'm not, like, probably significantly overpowered for this, I would have expected some of them to die. They're pretty bad. Alright. Where's these cairn stones at? Mana regen if I needed it. Nope. Just keep throwing down. There they are. And yes, the portal's already open. Along with a little mini-boss here named Rakanishu, who gets referenced in a surprising number of side games that want to make some kind of callback to Diablo 2. There was a mini-boss in the original Borderlands named after him that dropped an item called the Cracked Sash, which is also a reference to Diablo 2. But yes, we can get into Tristram through here. You'll find your way in. Is the music going to kick over? It's supposed to play the original Tristram theme while we're here. Yep, there it is. There are actually some somewhat decent chances of good items dropping here, particularly from the notable bosses, like Griswold, the old blacksmith from Diablo 1, now a cursed undead. You drop anything fun? Nothing super fun. I'll grab that to sell, though. And then if we find our way up here, you can find another callback to Diablo 1. The Body of Wort. He finally got killed. Someone was finally fed up with him. And he'll drop an absolute mountain of gold. Oh, I got a set piece over there. That's cool. As well as Wort's Leg, which is used for opening a portal to the secret cow level. It used to be that you could only do that once per character per difficulty. They have removed that limit now in Diablo Resurrected. You can do it as many times as you want. So if I wanted to open a portal to the cow level, I've got the ability to do that now. Definitely handy to have. Also, what the hell set breastplate is this? Eisenhearts. Alright, I think I already have one of those, so I might be able to sell that. I try to collect as many of the set pieces as I can because it's nice to have them available, but I'm pretty sure I already have that one. And then, yeah, you can find your way into the kind of central bit of town. Again, now that I've been playing Diablo 2 a little bit more, or Diablo 1 a little bit more consistently, do I recognize any of this? Like, I'm assuming this is supposed to be Pepin's hut right here. And then, like, this would have been Griswold's, this would have been the inn. You would find Deckard Cain locked up in a little cage here. You've got the classic well. The cathedral should be, like, over in this direction. I don't know if we're actually able to see it in this one. Are we? No, I'm guessing it would be, like, just past this gate. It's a little odd that they, like, don't have the cathedral here. You'd think you'd have some ability to see that, considering what an important location it was in Diablo 1, and you're, like, right next to where it was supposed to be. But no, apparently it was a little farther up the road than we can get to. But yes, you would rescue Deckard Cain. He would let you know that, yes, it is true, the Diablo returning has caused Andariel to return from the Hells. The Dark Wanderer is, in fact, the resurrection of Diablo. He's heading east to try to resurrect his brothers because the three Lords of Hell were all exiled to Earth, well, Sanctuary, ages ago. Good lord, what the hell was that? Oh, a cow exploded. Good. But yes, all of the primevals were exiled here ages ago, and now that he's been freed, he's going to go and try to free the other two primevals, Mephisto and Baal. And the first step is going to be him heading to the east into the desert, looking to free his brother Bale, and in order for us to get there, we need to clear the way east by clearing out Andariel in the Rogue Monastery, which would have us fighting all the way through the rest of this just to get down to the monastery. For now, let's actually take a look at this terrorized zone and see how bad this is. Doesn't seem that bad. Matter of fact, it's the second time today where the sound effects just cut out for a second. Very strange. Hello? Okay, this is the terrorized zone. Got it.
It's locked.
Very purple. What do we got in here? Oh yeah, look at that. Are these guys going to be like an actual problem or no? No. No, the answer is very much not. But in theory, these could drop some, again, pretty good items. Take a look at that U-Wand, actually. That's actually a Necromancer unique, so let's see if I happen to get lucky and get anything halfway decent. Bone Spirit, Golem, Mastery, Necromancer skill levels, that's all good, but probably not as good as this. I say probably not as good as this. Oh no, +2 all skills. Never mind, that is way better. We definitely want to stick with what I've got. It's like, it is entirely possible we might run into something actually useful here. Also entirely possible we won't. And yeah, again, Diablo 2, completely randomly generated maps all the way through. Similar to how Diablo 1's dungeons worked, but that works it doesn't feel as much like you're in a cave all the time. You're in, like, significantly larger, more open areas, but it is still all just procedurally generated. Some of the areas are fixed, so like this room here will always look the same, but then once you go through this door down into the catacombs, that's going to procedurally generate a catacombs layer for you. Assuming this is still going to be, yeah. Still going to be terrorized. Oh hey look, we found catacombs level 2 already. That was easy. This is still terrorized, fantastic. Let's see what we can kill down here. Looks good. I'll fight my way through this to see if we can get down to Andariel just the regular way. As long as this is a terrorized zone, it's actually probably worth checking out, because I might actually get some decent drops. It's going to be 4 floors of this, I believe, and then the other little side area after it. There would be another quest you'd get from one of the girls in town asking you to look for a blacksmith's hammer that she left here when they evacuated the monastery, which is going to be a little farther through once we get to like the inner sanctum. Let's get through here. Come on. I'm mostly just watching my map looking for any sign of the exit staircase. Of the like quality of life features they brought over from Hellfire, there was a spell in Hellfire that allowed you to teleport directly to the nearest exit to the level. They did not bring that over because that was apparently a little too broken. I kind of agree. There are also some rules you can learn for like the door will always be like in a certain direction relative to the entrance. So for example, this exit right here is faced to the upper right. Some of the exits will always be like 90 degrees rotated in one direction or the other, or 180 degrees rotated in that one direction or the other relative to the entrance, which can let you figure out like if it's 180 degrees rotated where it would be facing up and to the right, that means it'll probably be in this sort of a direction. So you can learn pretty quickly where you want to go. So apparently I've never found jail level 2. Amazing. Or jail level 1, whatever that is there. There's an entire waypoint on this character that I've just completely missed. I should probably go looking for those at some point. Just in case I ever want to go to a terrorized zone that's close to that. For now, we'll push our way on and see if we can go find Andariel. I think it's actually, this one's 180, so I think it is more likely to be in this direction. Alright, come here. Oh god, good lord. No thank you. Let's just clear a couple of these out. They can still, even early game nightmare enemies can still do pretty significant damage if you get caught out by them. Like if you're stuck in a corner surrounded, like you can see my health, it still goes down pretty darn quick. And I can see the corruption begins to fade. I believe that means that this zone is not going to remain terrorized very much longer, and particularly if I left the area, it would likely fade out and go back to normal. I haven't actually seen how that works if you're still in the area when it ends. Like if it's possible that it'll just I should probably check these brand charms too. Plus 8 attack rating and extra gold, why not? It's worth carrying at least while we're doing it. Charms like that will just give you a passive bonus while you're there. You missed what? What'd you miss? You haven't missed much. Oh yes, I got the raid. You're good. Don't worry about it, man. You're fine. That was a while ago. No, you're good. I know you're watching Critical Role, so enjoy. Hope it's going well. Oh, good lord, what is going on around here? Let's just keep pushing our way through all of this nonsense. No, you're good. You're off the clock, Sand. Don't worry about it. Ah, here's my exit. Alright, sweet. Let's get on down. I'm looking for Catacombs level 4 is going to be where Andario lives. So if we could find Catacombs level 4, that would be quite useful. Also, let's get my skeletons huddled up around here. We'll just start kind of pushing out and seeing what we can find. I don't remember which direction all the doors are in this area. I used to have a little chart that I would keep up like on a side screen while playing that would tell me which, turn left or turn right based on which floor you were on. I very much don't have that with me at the moment. Ooh. You're actually avoiding most of my damage. Let's fix that real quick. That should take care of that a little bit. There we go. And then once one of them drops this corpse explosion a few times, that'll clear out the rest of them, no problem. Alright. Come here, army of skeletons. Over this way. You will start running into like immunities and magic immunities and stuff on some of the monsters in this difficulty. Hey, we found our door. One of the nice things about Necromancer is I have these curses, for example, Amplify Damage, which increases damage taken by 100%. All that does is lower the enemy's damage resistance by 100%, meaning you can actually remove things like immunities. So for example, if I had a physical immune, Amplify Damage completely negates that, allowing you to bypass some of the more challenging fights you can run into in the higher difficulties. Alright, get in here. Let's take care of you. Oh, this is interesting. This is still a terrorized zone. How is that gonna work? Because Andario lives on this floor. Am I gonna be fighting a terrorized version of Andario? Oh, good lord, what the hell is all this? Okay. Can I get all of these guys up? That'll do. Okay, real quick. Where's Andario? There she is. She's a little blue on Nightmare. Normally she's kind of like skin colored with red hair. We can maybe get a little bit of a look in. How's it going, Andario? Ta-da! We did it. The team took care of her, no problem. Ooh. That might actually be good. That gold one's a legendary. So let's take a look at that in a second. I don't think this fire actually hurts me, even if I'm standing in it, so I'm not too worried about any of that. But there you go. You defeat the first of the lesser evils. So the way the game's lore is broken up is that oh, Worldstone Keep, Permanent Destruction, and Worldstone Chamber just got reset as the active terrorized zone, which would be the end game, the final boss. So hold up. What did I get? Gloom's Trap. Minus light radius, plus vitality, increased maximum mana regen. What have I got? Damage reduced by 2, all resistances up 10. I think the all resistances is immediately just gonna make this better. I'm just gonna want that instead. Yeah, we'll sell all this junk. We'll have Deckard Cain identify the rest of it and then sell everything else. That's fine. Alright. Grab some money, get on out of here. I like her throne, by the way. She's got a really cool, like, bone skull chair thing going on back here. Very neat looking. But yeah, that would be one of the 7 Lords of Hell, alongside Diablo, Mephisto, and Baal. There were 4 lesser Lords of Hell. Andariel, Duriel, Asmodan, and Belial. And we will be seeing 2 of them in this game, as well as all 3 of the, like, prime evils, or greater evils. The prime evils? Is that what they're called? I don't remember. The prime evils and the lesser evils? That's probably what it is. Prime evils and lesser evils. So we've seen all 3 of the main prime evils in this one, and then 2 of the lesser evils. The other 2 will show up in Diablo 3. So now that we've defeated that, you'd come back, let them know, hey, we've cleared out the monastery, Andariel's been defeated, we've opened the way east, War-Eve's caravan can finally head on its way, and you'd be able to join them on their trip east. Go ahead and identify that real quick. We can go ahead and sell all of this junk that I just got. I'm assuming I didn't get anything particularly notable out of this. I got Eisenheart's. I'll take a look real quick and just see if I happen to have, like, the rest of Eisenheart's set. Oh my god, I forgot I had the monsters following me. Do I already have, like, the rest of Eisenheart's? Oh, they all just died. Yes, I already have an Eisenheart's case, so we can just go ahead and get rid of that. That is fine. Akara, would you like to buy a bunch of nonsense? Look at all this crap I just got you. I'll take a pile of money. I don't even need any of this.
I can't.
Oh, I can't sell Word's Leg. Interesting. We'll go ahead and shove that in here for now. Just stick it in here. If I want to summon some cows later, we can summon some cows later. But yes, that would have been the end of Act 1. You defeat Andariel, you've opened the way east, you've figured out the Dark Wanderer is Diablo Reborn, and he's heading to go try to resurrect his brothers. We're going to head on to follow him, and War-Eve will let us do that. I'm actually curious if it's going to play the cutscene or not. If it doesn't, we're going to exit out to the menu real quick and play the cutscene, because I do want the cutscenes to play for plot reasons. So after defeating Andariel, we'd be, yes, heading east into the desert, and would have gotten this cutscene. Apparently eerie music. They want to make sure you understand that this music is supposed to be eerie.
We traveled east, over the mountains and into the vast deserts of broken lands. As the days passed, my companion told me of himself, that he had once been a great warrior, and that a dark and secret burden now weighed heavily upon him. We traveled for an eternity across that barren wasteland. How long? I couldn't say. And always a dark cloud seemed to follow us just over the horizon. Finally, the journey ended. We climbed the last bridge. There below us lay our destination. The shining jewel, Loot Lane, with a great sea beyond. We made camp that last night. Perhaps it was the warm desert wind or the sound of the ocean, but for the first time in many weeks, I slept. However, the dreams returned, but these were clearly not my own. I beheld a vision of a great man, the mage, Tal Rasha. You were there too, Tyrael. brethren had cornered a great demon, Baal, Lord of Destruction, who had been set loose upon the world. They attempted to imprison the demon within a sacred stone. Yet when their attempts failed, Tarasha selflessly volunteered to contain the demon within himself, completing the prison. He instructed his brethren to bind him within a tomb, buried under the sand, there to wrestle with the demon for all eternity.
Now you know what I seek, Marius. This is my brother. Sleep now. We set out with the dawn.
The next morning, we walked over the hill toward Lut Gholein. I had no idea then of the horrors that were in store for me there.
So I remember the first time I played this game, like way back in the day. I'd never played Diablo 1, so I didn't know like the end cinematic, you know, warrior becoming the, you know, putting the soul stone in his head, becoming that. And the text in the game was vague enough that I hadn't really figured out that like the Dark Wanderer, Diablo, and the character I was seeing in the cutscene were all the same character. And you see that cutscene, he's like, oh, that's my brother. I assumed that that guy was supposed to be like a descendant of one of the mages that had bound Baal, and he was trying to free Tal Rasha. That is very much not what's going on. It is very much that guy is the Dark Wanderer, possessed by Diablo, and is attempting to free his brother Baal. But yeah, I had that completely wrong the first time I played this game back in the day, I remember, and being like, oh, you know, when I got to it later. And I kind of get the impression that's what Marius is at. Marius seems to think that this guy is trying to free the mage, not the thing that's imprisoned. Also, real quick, we're going to farm up some skeletons. Step one of any time you enter a new act or reset an act on a character when you're playing Necromancer is head out into the first area. Oh my god, why are they so fast? Oh, I hate them. Alright, we need to get some skeletons going here. Let me just get this going. Do I need any more potions? Let's take a super mana potion, why not? Let's head out to the desert a little bit. I hate the desert, by the way. This place sucks. It is full of beetles that have a lightning effect, where every time you hit them, they shoot out lightning in all directions from themselves, and that lightning is lethal. It is so... There, you can see some of it right now. It is so painful, especially when you're coming here at, like, your first time. Like, I have lost so many characters when I was playing this game to that lightning effect. It's absolutely awful. Anyways, you're going to arrive here in the city of Lut Gholein, and the first thing you're going to find out is a weird quest where you get a quest from the local innkeeper telling you that there is a revived zombie living in the sewers that's been killing people, and she sends you down to go look after it. You can go kill it. He's going to end up being the revived version of one of the ancient mages, the Haradrim, which is the order that Deckard Cain here belongs to, who are, in lore, founded by Tyrael to sort of aid humanity in battling the invasion of the burning hells, the primevals being exiled to Earth. And many, many years ago, they defeated the three primevals and bound them in various places. Diablo below Tristram, Baal somewhere out in the desert here inside of Tal Rasha, and Mephisto we'll find out in a little bit. But we find one of them down there. Deckard Cain sends us out to go try to find out what's going on in the nearby area. The main quest in this act is a little vague. The next thing you're going to have is you need to reassemble a Herodric staff, which is going to be used to help identify where Tal Rasha's tomb is. You're going to have Tainted Sun, which is you find a lair of weird snake viper creatures out in the desert performing some kind of ritual that's going to block out the sun. You stop that ritual and it ends it. And then the next one is you get a message from the local mayor, or I don't know what his title actually is, the head of this town, named Jaren, that the tomb, or area underneath his palace, the harem and the catacombs beneath his palace, have been overrun by demons, and that they've sort of lost control of it. The guards haven't been able to keep it under wraps, and they send you down there because there was a mage that had come through here somewhat recently that was looking for access to some sort of arcane sanctuary buried beneath the palace, and he seems to have awakened demons. We're heading to that arcane sanctuary now. You would normally access it by fighting your way through this, and before he'll even tell you about it, you need to have done some good for the nearby area by finishing up the other quests in this act, which then leads to you going after this mage. The mage ends up, if you talk to our friend Drognan over here, who's the magic merchant in the area, you can find out that he trained under the mage from, or was trained with the mage from Diablo 1, the sorcerer, and that is who the mage that has recently come back to town is. The sorcerer from Diablo 1 was apparently from this area of the world, trained alongside Drognan, and has recently returned and is trying to unearth secrets from the ancient days in the area underneath the palace. So we're going to head after him to the Arcane Sanctuary. Normally you'd have to go, again, you'd be fighting through all this under that, and then eventually find your way all the way down to the second to last area here, through a portal in the palace basement, which leads you here, to this bizarre, weird nightmare dimension just kind of floating in space. Looks very cool, even in the, older classic graphics. How do I toggle that? There we go. But yeah, you get your fancy floating space dimension. This is gonna be an odd one. Our buddy is at the end of one of these 4 paths, and each of these paths leads to, a different maze. And what we're here for, in the long run, is we need to find the symbol of the Tomb of Tal Rasha, because far out in the desert there are 7 tombs, and one of these tombs contains Tal Rasha. If I look into this right now, it doesn't even show it on my screen anymore. I would need to know which symbol is the Tomb of Tal Rasha, and we think this guy is looking into researching that so that he can find it out. There is a way to figure it out even without doing this quest. I don't remember what the mechanics of that are off the top of my head. You can also just brute force it because the 7 tombs aren't all that long. So if you just kind of run in... Oh, this is gonna suck. My summons do somewhat struggle in these areas because of the way the map's laid out. They can get a little bit stuck. But that's fine. As soon as anything goes down, I'm going to be able to just corpse explosion my way through this nice and quick. And they'll eventually catch up. Normally when I get to the end of this, we're going to find our mage from Diablo 1, and he's going to have a book. It's going to tell us the way forward. Oh, hello up there. Alright. Let's keep pushing on. Some of my skeletons will eventually decide they've gotten stuck in the terrain badly enough that they need to teleport forward, which will help out quite a bit. I can always resummon my golem farther forward if I need to as well, if I get too stuck. A lot of these tight hallways, not really where the necromancer shines because his minions tend to get stuck on the terrain. Another thing to note is that even though this looks like it's a floor above me, it isn't. This is all one flat plane, and the game's just drawing some interesting architecture to make it look like it's multiple floors. The game actually doesn't have a way of really doing multiple floors. Everything is rendered on one flat surface, and they just use the art style and the perspective to make it look like it's multiple floors. If you were able to rotate the camera here, this whole effect would immediately break, but it mostly comes up when you're looking at the way area of effect spells work in this area, is that even if something looks like it's on the floor above, as long as it's directly next to you, it'll still be treated like it's still within the area of effect. Can I get through? Yeah, head this way. No. Would you like to get up here? Thank you. There we go. Let's keep heading forward. Is my summoner friend around here? There we go. And with any luck, I can just hack my way through all of this. The range on my corpse explosion is quite high at the moment, so I should be able to cut through any of these guys no problem. Slightly frustrating when my skeletal mages freeze an enemy, because that means they don't leave a corpse behind, they just shatter into ice. Which means no corpse explosions. There we go. As soon as one thing dies, everything else is going to follow suit very quickly. And it turns out this is not the correct path. This is the end of the path here, and it's just a dead end. So let's clear this out real quick. Everybody's done. You could walk your way all the way back to the start. I have no intention of spending that much time on this, so we're just going to go ahead and town portal, and we'll just pick another path. You can also, again, just run to the end of the desert to find the tombs and brute force guess your way through it, but as long as we're showing off some of the story and, you know, referencing the lore, we'll take a look at the Summoner, because the Summoner is one of the canonical characters from Diablo 2, so I do want to show him off. Let's try this other path. This one looks like it's going to be the teleporter one. So it's going to lead to a maze where it's just picking the teleporter, which will then teleport you ahead. All of my summons will eventually work their way forward with me. I can mostly skip a lot of these guys by just kind of, come on. All of you die. Anything interesting out of that? No. I will drink a healing potion and pick up a new one. Let's keep going. There we go. Skeletons, would you mind coming up here and helping me deal with this? Come on. Come on. The ghosts all have mana steal, which can be a bit of a problem because running out of mana makes this run just a tiny bit slower. Is that the right way forward? No, that was not the right one. That teleported me backwards. So I want this one down here then? Yes, that's correct. Alright, and then we'll just head this way. On through this teleporter pad. Push on towards the end and see if we spot any sign of our summoner friend. The ghosts can fly over the edge of the walls here, which if you get them in the areas where there's supposed to be like multiple floors, can make it very obvious that it is all one floor. Alright. Ghosts, I want you over here. And this should be the path that leads me up to the final little area. Can one of you please kill one of these? Thank you. And a second dead end. Alright, that's two of them down. In that case, we shall continue onwards and see if we can find him in one of the third or the fourth one. A lot of this area is just kind of like, Act 2 feels very, like, light on plot. You're mostly just dealing with, like, raiding ancient tombs and killing caves full of bugs and everything, until you get to the end bit here with the Summoner. There isn't a lot going on. Like, the sewers is just killing that ancient dead Herodrum, Dry Hills, the Halls of the Dead, the Far Oasis, and the Lost City all has to do with the snake vipers, they called tomb vipers that ended up summoning a ritual that was going to block out the sun, which doesn't really tie into anything else anywhere in Diablo lore, but whatever. And then you get to Palace Cellar and Arcane Sanctuary, which is the kind of like where it picks up on the main plot again. However, you're going to be spending probably a fair amount of time in Act 2 when playing Diablo 2, because the final boss of Act 2 is one of the most famous brick walls in this entire franchise. Like, it is awful. We'll get to that fight when we see it, but he is very much a, like, you're probably going to have to do some grinding the first time you play this game, because fighting him for the first time is a nightmare. Alright. Get in here. Let's kill all of you. Yeah. Keep exploding corpses. There we go. Oh god, there's so many of them. Oh god, there's so many of them. Just keep working my way through. Oh god, this map is going to be a rough one. Corpse Explosion should deal with it pretty nicely, though. Corpse Explosion in Diablo 1 is kind of busted because it's based on the monster's original health, not on a set damage number. So it, for example, if I pop open my skill tree right now, take a look at it, it's currently dealing between 70 to 120% of corpse life, which, if I get that 120% end of the range, will instantly kill any unarmored enemy of the same type because it's dealing the same amount of damage they have in health. So once you get like one enemy down, you can very easily just spam Corpse Explosion and it'll just chunk entire groups of enemies around them. So as soon as one thing drops and leaves you a corpse to explode, boom, 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 and dead. I was actually quite happy to see the Corpse Explosion is back to being kind of like silly overpowered in Diablo 4 because it's just fun. It's a fun gameplay style in my opinion, just kind of standing here as like the general leading your army and then just pointing at corpses and watching them explode quietly in the background. Alright, bust through all of you. Keep on heading this way. You know, that means this guy actually appeared on one of the lower paths, which is a little unusual. I don't tend to see him down there. I don't know if there's any, like, backing behind it. Ah, this is it. This is it, because I can see the symbols floating there. So we're going to need to push our way forward a little to get all my skeletons to catch up. And this fella up here, the summoner, this is the Diablo 1 mage. Can I get zoom in on him? Yeah, this is what became if you played Sorcerer in Diablo 1. You end up here, you've gone insane, and you're looking for the secrets of one of the ancient, like, mage lords of the Haradrim. Trying to track down the secrets that lead to Tal Rasha's tomb.
Seekers of the tomb of Tal Rasha will find it through the portal, but know that the glowing glyphs recorded here...
1 second, why is it so quiet? It shouldn't be that quiet. We're going to try bringing the music down quite a bit. If that does anything. What if I even, like... What if we do, like, that? And leave voices a little higher? How's that feel?
Seekers of the tomb of Tal
That's a little better.
will find it through the portal, but know that the glowing glyphs recorded here in my arcane sanctuary are the signs of the 6 false tombs. The missing 7th sign marks the tomb of Tal Rasha. Of the Haradrim, he might be called the Foremost. It was a shining but brief moment for the mage clans when they set aside their differences and worked together against the common enemy. The Haradrim relentlessly pursued the 3 across the desolate empires of the east and even into the uncharted lands of the west, leaving the Archangel Tyrael's hands unblemished. Presuming the 3 to be vanquished, the Haradrim's unstable fellowship began to dissipate. Abandoning their sacred charge to safeguard the 3 soul stones, the disparate mage clans began to squabble amongst each other over petty differences. Their conflicts not only dissolved their brotherhood, but strengthened the evils which they had buried beneath the cold earth.
Alright, so a bit of lore on the Haradrim, where they were founded by Tyrael to vanquish the evils, but once that was done and they thought they'd won, they kind of lost sight of their goals and began to focus more on, you know, regaining their power as mages. Also, unfortunately, it looks like these 6 symbols here match the symbols I can see, which means it's the one that's under this portal that is the correct symbol, which is the half moon. Now, the way these tombs are laid out, we're in a big desert here, this here being one of the waypoints, and the 7 tombs are always in the same order. I don't remember what order that is, but like triangle, circle with thing, blah blah blah, are always in the same layout. We're looking for the one that is the half circle, because it was the one symbol that did not appear in that glowing set of symbols in Horizon's 2 or Horizon's Sanctuary. So if we head all the way out here, we're going to find a bunch of tombs along the walls. 7 of them in kind of a row. We're looking for the one where the pillars have the half circle symbol on them. You can go into all these other ones. They all do have monsters and loot. If you're looking to do some grinding before you fight Duriel, definitely worth poking in. But hey, look, we found it. It was the second one. We can just head into Tal Rasha's tomb. There, I believe they all say Tal Rasha's tomb when you go into them, because, you know, you don't know which one is the real one. Because I've completed this, it may have decided to change how it shows up. We're looking for... I think it's actually this way. Check the Grand Charms. It's probably worth grabbing any Grand Charms we see just to see if they happen to be good ones. The odds of them being good, pretty low to be honest, but it'd be silly not to at least check. Oh my god, I hate the bugs. I just hate the bugs. They're so obnoxious to deal with. Alright, in we go. So somewhere down here is where our Dark Wanderer and Marius were headed, trying to find Tal Rasha and free Bale. We don't know how far behind them we are, or if we've managed to beat them here. We're looking to see if we can try to prevent Bale from being resurrected, is the goal at this point. Down we go into the tombs. Slowly burn our way through all of this. It's also very dark in here. I don't actually remember if there's I think there are still items in this game that affect light radius. That was a bit more of a thing in Diablo 1. But I think it is still technically a feature in Diablo 2 that there are items that can impact the radius around your character, which is lit up. Oh, is this it? Yes, this is it. So, we'd be looking for this room here normally. You'd be plugging in the Herodric staff that we recovered at the very beginning of this act, where we were gathered when we defeated the ancient Herodrum under the sewers under town, and managed to combine the staff and the headpiece together, which would open up the way into Tal Rasha's chamber, leading to Duriel, who is an absolute nightmare of a boss. Also, the sound effects decided to take a second. Duriel's a big slug boy, one of the lesser lords of hell, and I'm curious to see if he's going to be able to kill any of my my minions. He honestly might be able to. I'm going to back up a little because his cold aura is actually ticking me from there. On normal, he definitely can kill your skeletons. Like, one hit will kill each of your skeletons, and you're not going to have 10 on normal normally, so he is famous for just chunking through characters. I think we're fine. Yeah, he goes down no problem. And now that we've defeated him, we can push our way forward a little bit into the actual Tomb of Tal Rasha, where we are hopefully... I'm curious to see if he's going to be here. Normally we'd find Tyrael here, because he'd been stuck in here after some events took place, and he would open a portal for us back to town, letting us know that things had gone wrong. Bale has already been rescued and freed, and they've left east to go look for Mephisto across the sea to Kurast, and we are now going to be headed off to go look for them in Kurast. Is there anything behind here, by the way? I don't think I've ever actually looked around the rest of this room. You saw this room in the little vision with Marius, where you saw the guy being pinned to their tied to this stone and having the soul gem thrust into him. But yeah, Tyrael would normally be here, portal you on the way back to town, letting you know, hey, we've got to find our way east to Kurast and go look for them before they can revive Mephisto. We had a raid and dip. Hope you had a good rest of your stream. Oh, it's fine. Thanks for following. Thanks for stopping in. Thanks for the raid. Much appreciated, Dragon Tide. Take care. And I hope you're having a good time playing Diablo. Are you planning to play 4 when it comes out? I'm assuming a lot of people right now that are streaming Diablo, 2, Resurrected, all that stuff, are planning to move on to 4 in a day or two. But I know I definitely am. Very much looking forward to it. Had a really good time with the beta, so we'll go ahead and do our next cutscene before we move on to the next act here. This would be the cutscene we would have gotten when we decided to board the ship to head east to Kurast looking for Mephisto. always found the name of this cutscene odd. Mephisto's jungle, but we're not actually going to see the jungle at all in this cutscene.
My companion drew in the dank, cold air of the tomb. It seemed to strengthen him. I stood in the doorway between light and dark. What was left of my sanity implored me not to enter. But that voice was just a whisper now. As we worked our way down, deeper and deeper into the crypt, I began to see a change in my companion. He seemed to be gaining strength. I could hardly see in the gloom, but my companion seemed to know the way. We came at last to a great hall.
Our boy's not looking too good there.
It was then I realized my companion hadn't been gaining strength. He had been losing what was left of his humanity. He moved with demonic speed, and then you appeared.
Stop! The beast contained herein shall not be set free, not even by you. Just ensured the doom of this world. You cannot even begin to imagine what you've set in motion this day. Go to the Temple of Light in the eastern city of Karas. There you will find the gate to hell opened before you. You must find the courage to step through that gate, Maris. Take the stone you hold to the Hellforge, where it will be destroyed. Now run. Take the stone and run!
Also, like, Tyrael's frequently portrayed as being like one of the smartest of the Angelic Council. I can't believe he looked at this guy and was like, yeah, this looks like someone who could survive a trip into hell. Like, I'm just gonna send you with this, like, incredibly important soul stone to go run directly into the mouth of hell and destroy it. I think you'll do fine, buddy. You got this. Like, Marius wouldn't have stood a chance. Real quick, we're going to pop on in. So now that we've done that, we know, okay, we're looking for Kurast. We need to go to Kurast. We're going to find a portal to hell open. don't know how Tyrael would have known there was going to be a portal to Hell in Kuros, to be perfectly honest with you, because that hasn't happened yet. But now that he's sent him on his way, we're going to go and follow.
My ship is your
That
ship.
cutscene would normally play at this point. We're heading east because we just know that's where the Wanderer's headed. And do you feel like loading game? How you feeling? No? There we go. And the Kuros Docks. Now this, for a lot of people I know, is one of their least favorite acts. I love this act. I think the jungle is probably one of my favorite places to hang out in this game. You get the whole town here. You're going to find some different people. The main quest you're going to run into is that we go through and look at our quest log here. The first one we've got is the Golden Bird, which is we're going to find a relic of a golden bird. I think it's inside of a jade statuette that you find. You can get that turned in. You've got the Gibdin, the blade of the old religion. You find a bunch of small, ancient, like, tribals living in the woods that are worshipping an ancient dagger that I believe is now... Oh, it's not there. I could have sworn you could see it somewhere. Ah, here it is. Yeah. Is being used to keep up a magical barrier around this town to prevent the evils from accessing this town by the town's mage Ormus. Getting through Act 3 drives me nuts when you're trying to rush. Fair enough. I can definitely understand that. The layout of the jungle is a confusing mess. Especially considering that, like, sometimes this, like, if we look at our layout map here, Spider Forest, Great Marsh, Flare Jungle, sometimes they're all connected to each other and sometimes they're not. Like the Kuros... Okay, we head out of Kuros Docks into the first area. What is that even called? I don't even think that... Yeah, Spider Forest. Sometimes the Spider Forest will lead you straight into the Flare Jungle, which will lead you straight into Kuros. Sometimes it leads you into the Great Marsh, which will lead you into Kuros. Sometimes they're all connected. It can definitely be a mess. Yeah, Great Marsh has no use, although it depends on how the layout lays out, because sometimes it's faster to cut through the Great Marsh to get to where you're going. Like, the main way this area is laid out is if you go and look up the files for how this is all, like, generated, it's sort of all following this river here. And then as you get to certain points, you'll see, like, tile sets intersecting. If you had a way to pull up, like, the full act map on one big sheet, it all makes a little bit more sense, but there isn't a way to do that, and you also don't know which version of it it's generated, which can make it a bit difficult to figure out which way you should be heading, which is, yeah, just a mess. Lore-wise, it's very straightforward. We are looking to find our way into the ancient city of Kuros, because that's where we know Mephisto was held, and now that we've seen Baal and Diablo both awoken, and they're heading to find Mephisto, we need to find our way over to Kuros to try to prevent Mephisto from being awoken, and prevent them from reopening a portal to Hell, and leading to just a full-on invasion of, Oh, I know, the Act 2 maps are a mess. That said, I actually enjoy them. I think they're just fun maps to fight through. Like this here, when you see these two torches, this is going to be the exit to another area. So if I can, real quick, I'm just going to try to get some of my summons all reset. This should lead me into one of the other maps. Either Flare Jungle or Great Marsh. Or is this just going to be one of the little side areas where the spider caves are? This might be the side area where the spider caves are. It is! So yeah, that would give me my Spider Forest waypoint. You can also follow the river out, so if I head this way, this should take me back towards the river. Also, I need to be a little careful. There's a type of enemy you can run into here, which are these little, like, they're called fetishes in this difficulty. The little tribal guys. And this guy here with the flamethrower, honestly, really powerful. Oh, I'm absolutely planning to play D4. I am 100% set for that. I didn't take off of work for it, which I was half tempted to do. But I am absolutely going to be playing it at night when I get home the day it's available. And I pre-ordered it, so I have access to it on the evening of the 1st into the 2nd. Will be the first chance I get to play the full version of the game. I played both of the beta weekends and had an absolute blast. and I'm planning to stream Diablo 3 Wednesday night. So, gonna finish up the full story of this if I can tonight, and then move on to Diablo 3 Wednesday night and try to do a playthrough of that. That one I could probably do a little more of a thorough playthrough, because Diablo 3 honestly isn't that long. Alright, so now I want to head this way. We're trying to follow the river is the way to read this. The general guideline for reading this map is this is a long, straight river, and you're just kind of following along it. So if we just keep following the river this way, it will lead me in the direction of my way into Kurast and Travancore, and the city where Mephisto was being held. Pre-ordering tomorrow, so hopefully I'll be playing on pre-release and playing the betas going in, so completely blind. Oh, it should be fine. It honestly seems like it's going to have a really fun, like, progression system for playing through the story, where, like, a lot of it's kind of open to which order you want to play it in. Like, a lot of the map is going to be open right from the start of the game, so it's not, like, as rigidly defined into acts, it looks like, which is kind of a cool system. It feels a little bit more like Diablo 3's adventure mode, except with the story like interwoven into that, where all the dungeons are going to be separate side dungeons that are like scaled to your level. I think that's going to work out quite well. Is this going to be a dead end, or is this going to loop me? No, perfect. This is going to loop me back up here. I want to keep kind of heading in that direction. Up and to the right is the overall goal here. So if I head this way, is this going to loop me around, or is this going to be a dead end? Hopefully because they're playing for a minimum of 4 weeks. What's the, you got a, like a... What's happening in 4 weeks? Also, what class are you planning to play? Like, I'm definitely going to be doing Necro as my first main character, because I'm a big Necromancer fan. Okay, cool. We found the Great Marsh, which means if I'm lucky, this is going to loop me back around to the Flayer Jungle and then up to Kurast. Ta-da! We keep following the river, keep following the river. Ignore all of these things. Oh, maybe be a little more careful. Also love the enemy names in this Banehorn. One of the streamers is part of this support a streamer campaign for D4. Fantastic! Awesome! I think you'll have a fun time. Like, from the betas I played, I had a great time with it. I was very, very ready for more. There we go. Alright, cut through all that. And yeah, I played through mostly the first beta. The second beta, unfortunately, got overshadowed a little bit by Tears of the Kingdom coming out, which was a phenomenal game. I've been getting really lucky lately on game releases. Like, I'm getting just a ton of stuff that is like, I've been looking forward to this for years, and I'm finally getting it. Alright, burn through all of this. I actually wanted to stream Resurrected back when it came out, but came out at an awkward time. It was like Blizzard was unfortunately not in a state that I particularly wanted to be supporting through any kind of free advertisement at the time that Resurrected came out. Which was frustrating, but you know, whatever. Hopefully things have moved forward. Looks like the company's moving in a bit of a better direction these days. Alright, keep heading this way and we should find our way to the city pretty quickly. Cross the bridge. And... oh, that's a dead end, so we want to go around this side. And that's a dead end, so we'll loop back over to here. This is going to be a cross. There looks like a little island map segment we'll see. I think that there would have led into the Flayer Jungle. is my guess. Which I might actually need to dip through, because I don't know if it's actually possible for the Great Marsh to connect to the city. It's looking like no. Okay, so I will need to dip through the Flayer jungle for just a moment to connect to the city. This is one of those actually a perfect example where Great Marsh ends up being like, you kind of have to go through it, because it's a shorter route to get through to where you need to be. There's likely another connection from the Flayer jungle back down to the Spider Forest if I were to follow this to the south. Hey, look! Actually found the Great Marsh waypoint for once. Are you going to lead me? Okay, I need to go this way to get where I want to go. And this should hopefully... Oh no. Oh no, is this going to be one of those maps? Oh no, that means that I have to go all the way back around. Unless I want to cheat, and I could just use my waypoints, because I already do have the waypoints unlocked. But... Oh no, this is going to be one of those maps. That's fine. I actually think particularly the music and the atmosphere in this zone are quite nice, so I don't mind if I have to run around a little bit more. Where is the exit that I'm looking for, though? You know what? Screw it. We'll just take the... probably play Source for default at this stage. I've never played Sorceress or Mage in any of these games. Or, what was it in... What is it in Diablo 3? Is it Sorcerer in that one, or is it Wizard? I've never played Wizard either. Yeah, Paladin Crusader at a later date would be very nice to see. I would be very much in favor of that. I actually really enjoyed Crusader in... we're going to just bump ahead a little bit here. Honestly, this act, not terribly lore relevant. It's fun for the lore of, like, this is where a lot of the mage clans kind of originated. And if you play... what's his name? Witch Doctor in Diablo 3. The little guys I've been killing around here, the little, like, tribal guys, you're supposed to be one of them. In Diablo 3. Also, there is a fairly high likelihood that we're going to be seeing Travancore in Diablo 4, from what I can tell from the map. It looks like where we are on the map is very close to this. It didn't appear to be in the game from what I could see during the betas, but I'm pretty sure there was a little portion of the map that was like intentionally left blank, and I have a feeling if they do a DLC, we're going to be coming back to Travancore. But yeah, overall you're just kind of fighting your way through the jungle here, getting your way up into this city, fighting through Karas and finding your way up into the city of Travancore. Hello. Where we're going to find the Zakarum priests. This is where the Paladin Order was originally founded, worshipping the Temple of Light. And we would see, like, the Crusaders were supposed to be another order that kind of broke off from this and ended up becoming when they started realizing that the Temple of Light had been corrupted by Mephisto, because lore-wise, Mephisto had been buried underneath this temple, and over the years he had slowly kind of corrupted the priests that worshipped the temple into supporting the burning hells more than anything. So you're going to see a lot of corrupted, like, priests and stuff in this area. Like these guys, the High Council members. Burn our way through this. They summon a million hydras. This is a sorcerer's skill you can actually get. Lets you summon up little flame hydras to lay down some support in an area. I think we'll be fine to just kind of brute force our way through this. There we go. And now I get some corpses, and we just immediately burn our way through all of that. And ta-da! This will lead us down into the Durance of Hate, the depths beneath the temple where Mephisto was held captive. Each of the Lords of Hell has a, like, title. Diablo's the Lord of Terror, Mephisto's the Lord of Hate, Baal, we heard mentioned, is the Lord of Destruction. I know Duriel is the Lord of Pain, Asmodan is the Lord of Sin, Belial is the Lord of Lies, and I don't remember what Andariel's title is. I can't remember what her specific sin title was. She's the only female one. I don't remember if it was Lady of something or Mistress of something. Alright, let's burn our way through, go find our way down to Mephisto. Mephisto's honestly, like, Like, Nightmare Mephisto is honestly a really good farming spot. He has an unusually good drop table. I probably don't want to fight my way through this entire tomb, to be honest with you. It's a long, winding maze, and I can get much closer if I just take this portal up here. So we'll just take the waypoint to get down to Mephisto and kill him. Because would you believe we were too late? They've already woken up Mephisto. He's already corrupted the jungle. You find that out almost immediately upon getting here, is that, yeah, the city's been completely overrun, and they have already found their way here. Head down to the Durance of Hate. I believe I am looking to head to the right. And if we're lucky, maybe we'll get a good drop. Then again, drops in Diablo 2 are measured in the, like, 1 in tens of thousands drop chance without any modifiers. I don't have any, like, drop rate modifiers on this character, so the odds of me getting anything good are fairly low. But you never know. I'll grab some XP, why not? Alright, which way to get to Mephisto? I have a feeling he is over here. And no, that's a dead end. Oh, this map is a mess. We'll just wander around a little. Lesser Evil, Maiden of Anguish, yes. Yeah, she's one of the 7... She's not a prime evil, but she's one of the lesser evils. And yeah, has a title as such. I was like, you've got the 3 prime evils and then the 4 lesser evils. Which... Come on. I didn't realize the first time I played this game. I thought Andario was just like some demon. I didn't realize she was like, honestly, one of the most powerful demons in hell. Like, she's supposed to be one of the top 7. Where are we heading this way? Is this going to be the way down, or is this going to be the way back up? This is the way down. Fantastic. Durance of Hate level 3. Is this it? Have we made it to Mephisto? I think we might have made it to Mephisto. He might be on floor 3. Let's just burn our way through all of you, because this does look like the entrance to his room. So fantastic. Could have sworn there was a 4th floor. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just thinking of Andario. Come on. Game? Good? Alright, we're good. Large Charm. Does this happen to be anything good? Probably not. It's a little bit extra life and some defense. Maiden of Anguish. Alright. Oh. Yeah, here we go. We'll just keep burning through this. If I can get some corpses eventually, please, so that I can get some corpse explosions, that will make my life significantly easier. I'm running a little low on the health potions. Might want to watch that. Alright. Into the side rooms. We'll clear out some of these guys. We're good. If I see any health potions drop, definitely pick them up. Unraveler head, technically a necromancer item, odds of it being better than the homunculus, basically non-existent.
I need a key.
There we go, now we're getting some actual potions that'll be helpful. And we should have our boy Mephisto just up ahead here. What color is he on Nightmare? I don't even remember. Oh, very cool looking. He's one of my favorite, like, character designs for all the Lords of Hell. Like, this weird, disemboweled corpse with all these, like, tendrils and stuff coming out of him. Super cool looking. Oh, I probably should be a little careful. I don't think he's very likely to kill me, but best not to play around. And yeah, this is the first of the primevals you fight in this game. According to lore, he's sort of supposed to be like the head of the primevals. Like, he's the eldest of them and the one that they tend to listen to the most. A lot of the plans they've come up with were done by him. He's like Hell's greatest tactician a lot of times. What did we get? Set piece. Anything good? The Angelic Sickle. I have no idea if the Angelic Raiment's any good or not, but we'll go chuck it in the bin. Hang on to it for later. And yes, with him defeated, we have now... Up. Wow, that chest is, How does that look in old graphics? Just as bad. Probably should not have spawned on the stairs there. There's a couple little chests in the back here you can get. I know some people that like religiously loot these. I've never cared. Angelica says be outclassed very fast. Yeah, I was like, I wouldn't expect it to be anything too good. But it's fine for now. With him defeated, you get this cool little river of blood crossed with a pile of corpses and bones, leading to a portal, which takes us straight to Act 4. Because we were too late, he's already sent his Diablo on ahead to Hell, try to reunite the armies of Hell and lead an assault on Sanctuary, and we get teleported to the Pandemonium Fortress, which is an outcropping on the edge of the Burning Hells, kind of a border dimension between the Burning Hells and the High Heavens. This was in lore originally where all of the major events started. There'd been a war between the Burning Hells and the High Heavens for a long time, and eventually they found the Pandemonium Fortress and the World Stone contained within, which would allow them to have the power to shape and reshape the fate of an entire world. And the High Heavens and the Burning Hells fought each other for millennia, attempting to gain control of this World Stone, eventually leading to one member of each side, Lilith and Inarius, deciding that they were tired of the war. They snuck into the Pandemonium Fortress, stole the World Stone, and went and created their own unique realm called Sanctuary to hide away from the High Heavens and the Burning Hells to try and get away from the war. And their children would eventually become the Nephilim, half human, half demon, which over time devolved into humanity, and Sanctuary is the world the whole thing is set on, which led to a true treaty between the High Heavens and the Burning Hells to end the war, because without the World Stone there was nothing to fight for, and they decided it was worth their time to track down what had happened to Inarius and Lilith, what had happened to the World Stone. When they found Sanctuary, they realized the Nephilim posed a threat that could topple the balance of power in either direction, so they agreed to a non-interference policy where neither side would interfere in the events of Sanctuary, and they would allow the humanity to eventually decide which side they wanted to back on their own. Obviously, the Burning Hells did not really hold true to that agreement and tried to subtly manipulate their way in over the years, which is how we ended up with the exile of the Prime Evils to Sanctuary. Tyrael here stepping in and forming the Herodrum to stop that, and leading to the events of the first game where Diablo was captured, contained, eventually released, and now this is all breaking free again as they fight for control of the World Stone, which was, again, originally here in the Pandemonium Fortress. But yes, now that we've made it to Act 4, we can pop out real quick and view the Act 4 cutscene, which we would have gotten after defeating good old Mephisto there. Chests in the back are super chests worth looting on high player counts. Oh, is that why everybody's so interested in them? I never figured out why everyone was so insistent on looting them.
I did as you told me, Tyrael. I found the temple of the Zakarum. In the deepest recesses of the temple, I found a dark gathering. My companion, the Wanderer, Talrasha, and a great evil who could only be the Lord of Hatred himself, Mephisto. I heard a voice that, like 1,000 needles in my heart.
My brothers, at long last we stand reunited. The infernal gate has been prepared, and the time of our final victory is at hand. Let the way to hell be opened. And the evil that was once vanquished shall rise anew. Wrapped in the guise of man shall he walk amongst the innocent, and terror shall consume they that dwell upon the earth. The
fire, and the seas will become as blood. The righteous shall fall before the wicked, and all creation shall tremble before the burning standards of hell.
What I saw then was not meant for mortal eyes.
The gate stands ready. Now, my young brother, the time has come to assume your true form. Arise, Diablo, Lord of Terror.
He's always had kind of a Godzilla thing going on in this cutscene.
You are a harbinger of our return, Diablo. Send forth your terror into hell.
So keep in mind, Tyrael was asking Marius to just run in there. This guy. Like, hey buddy, you think you could just fight your way past them real quick and just dive in? That seems like a terrible plan. If he had done that, he would have been captured and killed in like seconds, and they would have had the Soul Stone. It's honestly probably significantly better that he didn't end up doing that. Corrupted tremors strike a non-existent level. What the hell is that all about? What? That doesn't seem right. Anyways, you make it to Act 5, or Act 4. This would have been the end of the original game. You're in Pandemonium Fortress, the Border Realms, tracking down Diablo. You now have Mephisto's Soul Stone. The first quest you're going to get is going to be to go find the Hell Soul Forge in Hell, the same place he asked Marius to take Baal's Soul Stone to destroy it. You're going to be going and taking Mephisto's Soul Stone to destroy that. He also has you looking for... Can I get the dialogue about this? No, because I've already finished all the quests. He also has you looking for the Fallen Angel, which is one of Tyrael's former lieutenants. What was his name? Oh, I'm trying to remember what the hell this guy's name is. He's a mini, or a sub-boss in Diablo 3. It starts with an I. Not an Arius. Can't remember this guy's name for the life of me. We'll see if we bump into him out here. Let's take a peek into Hell real quick, though. Entering the outer steps of Hell, and ta-da! This is going to be potentially a little more concerning when it comes to I need to farm up some, corpses. Because I don't have any skeletons. Oh, thank God, we got cliff lurkers. These are the easiest ones. Perfect. That makes this much easier, and as soon as I have any skeletons, we're basically fine. Even one of my skeletons will do a good chunk of work against any of the enemies we're going to run into down here. Alright, in we go. Let's grab all these guys. Ooh, Doom Knights. Let's get them. Alright, that should be fine. And now I can switch back over to Corpse Explosion and just blast my way through. I think I'm going to skip the mages, to be honest. They don't seem to be doing me that much good. Apparently still one of you in here. Oh, it's the spectral one. Or the ghostly one. We're fine. I'll grab one of these super healing potions. Any mana potions? Yeah, I'll take any super mana potions. Just top myself back up. We can get the map moving onwards. I'm gonna see if I can go find that angel. He's still gonna be wandering around here because all of the bosses do respawn, so I'll be out here somewhere. Nothing useful out of you. I'm kind of half going to be watching for if any of these uniques drop anything useful. Act 4 is honestly incredibly short. As you may have seen, it's only got 3 quests as opposed to the usual 6. And not a terribly large number of areas to fight your way through. I always felt like they kind of ran out of ideas for what to do with this one. Like, now that we've sent you to hell, what do we have you do there? And my guy should be in the... I don't think he's in the first area. I think he's in the second set. Not the outer steppes, but the burning plains or something. Alright, which should have, yes, a staircase leading to it right here. Plains of Despair, that's what it is. Alright, I think, yeah, there he is. Izual, that's his name. I knew it was something with an I. So yes, this is one of Tyrael's former lieutenants who he'd sent to safeguard the entrance to Pandemonium Fortress. Over time, he became corrupted and fell to the burning hells. And has now been wandering around here for ages, until you eventually kill him, freeing his soul. Normally during the quest, he would appear here and talk to you for a second, and basically taunt you, saying that, like, you've come here for nothing, there's nothing you can do to stop this at this point. Tyrael was hoping you could, like, redeem him, but he's very much far beyond redemption at the point you find him. Let's see if we can find our way on down into the next area. This honestly isn't that dangerous to worry about. Oh, is this it right here? Perfect. City of the Damned. Alright, and then somewhere inside here, we should find the way down to the River of Flame, which is our next goal. Looking for the Hellforge, trying to destroy Mephisto's Soul Stone. I mean, honestly, a bit of an obnoxious layout, but not too bad. I think if I, cut through here. Oh god, oh god. Oh, I wasn't paying attention, I was looking at my map. That's unfortunate. That is honestly probably going to be really obnoxious to get back to. Okay, we can do this. We're going to pay the 50,000 gold to resurrect my damn follower, which is frustrating, but fine. What is he even dealing with right now? Not even that good. Need to get him better gear. I can do this with no gear, right? How bad could it be trying to tackle this with literally no gear? Let's just look for some corpses to resurrect. We'll be fine. Whatever. Probably worth showing off how death in Diablo 2 works anyway, because that was another change from Diablo 1. Is that now, when you die, you may have noticed the game doesn't completely end. You can actually dive back in and go try to, continue on from here. Which is going to work. Oh, Be a little careful. I'm going to need to take it a little more slowly on the walk back, because I did kind of dive in a bit aggressively there. But yeah, my corpse is laying on the ground where I died, with all of my gear on it, as well as some of the gold that I had lost. You also do lose some XP, so you may have noticed my XP bar kind of reset there. Not that big of a deal. I think I was only at like halfway through 1 bar of XP at this point. When you get to like higher levels like this, XP gain is incredibly slow. I'm overall not too worried about it. I don't remember what happens if you die on the way back to your corpse. You just leave another corpse? Like, can I just leave an infinite number of corpses down here? I don't even remember how that works.
I need mana.
We'll be fine, though.
Not enough mana.
Ooh. There was a unique item that dropped here. Let's go see what that is, actually. Can I pick that up? Yes. What are you? Chromatic Ire. +3 sorceress skill levels? Oh my god. And +1 to... Oh my god. That actually might be really good. I don't know Sorceress very well, but like, plus 20% faster cast rate, plus 3 all Sorceress skills, and then plus 1 to each of the Elemental Masteries, and plus 20 all resists. From what I know about just general Diablo 2 loot, that actually sounds like that might be really, really good. Like, I might make a Sorceress, finally, for the first time ever. We're definitely going to be hanging on to that one. What's the minimum level for that? Required level 35. Okay. It's not terrible. You know what? What I will do is start reviving some monsters. Oh, I can only have one.
I need mana.
Okay, I can only have one of each of those. Let's get those up though, just so that I've got some friends to help me here.
I need mana.
We're good.
I need mana.
We're good. I'll be able to fight my way back to my corpse, no problem. Yeah, that honestly looks like it might be a really good staff. It's like typically plus skills are one of the like most sought after like itemizations you can get on something. So having plus 3 is really high, and then plus to each of the masteries that's another skill. So I'm getting 3 additional skill pluses on there, which is quite good. And then resistances are always sought after because having resistances just one of the changes you'll see as you go up through the difficulty levels is that right now, just at base, I am at minus 10 on all of my resists. And then when you go to hell, I believe it's minus 25 or 30. Maybe minus 50. It's pretty steep. You take some very serious, like, resistance penalties as you go up in the difficulties. So having gear with resistances on it is very important so that you can offset that.
Not enough mana.
Oh god, without my gear, my mana is so bad. That's fine. I can blow my way back to my gear, no problem. It's just more interesting is all. That's what this is. I didn't want it to be entirely boring, so we wanted to do at least one bit of gameplay.
I need mana.
Okay. Are you guys all good? How's everything looking?
Not enough mana.
Keep going this way. This is fine.
Not enough mana.
God, I just absolutely don't have any way of regenerating mana right now, which is rough. Okay, keep going this way. I died up ahead here a little bit. Like, specifically, I went through this building, and then ran out the other side and almost immediately died. Are you? Oh, you're an elite. Or a champion. I should probably, at least pay attention to you. You know what? That'll do. Okay, I'm, right up ahead here. Alright, stay back a little, because I don't want to run ahead into whatever kills me. I'm betting there were some elites in there that killed me. Yep, totally what happened. Hey, I got 50,000 gold. That means I got my revive of my mercenary paid back already. Fantastic. And I should just automatically re-equip all my gear, so we're good to go. No major setback there. I'll take an XP shrine. And yeah, I got a tiny bit of the XP that I dropped back. Which I didn't have much, so wasn't expecting much anyway. I think I can now, restock all my potions into my belt. Where the hell is the entrance to the River of Flame? I'll grab these charms as long as we're going, just keeping an eye for anything that might happen to be useful. River of Flame, where are you? That said, this did teach me not to be too arrogant here, running around. We'll let my minions burn through stuff a little bit before I run ahead. Hopefully maximum damage, attack rating, and lightning damage. This is something I never do, that endgame players are very much aware of, is that filling up your inventory with charms is a good idea. Because you can get charms that give you stuff like plus skills, and plus resistances, and plus damage, that by just having them in your inventory you gain that effect. And so at the end of the game you kind of just want to fill your inventory with as many charms as you can, so that you're getting as many passive bonuses as you can. I'm terrible at doing that, because I my dumb lizard brain is just like, no, you've got to keep your inventory free for if I want to pick up this shitty bladed talons that I'm just going to sell for a couple of gold. That's not what my inventory is for. My inventory is not for stat bonuses. My inventory is for loot. How am I going to pick up the loot if I put all the charms in there? Which is not smart. That is poor thinking, but it's how my brain works. That's how it's always going to work. Alright, there we go. Now we're getting places. Let's get some dudes summoned. Give me some more of these. Can you, yeah, keep heading this way. Yeah, keep heading this way. We're looking for the Soul Forge. Somewhere down here. What is a non-existent... Oh, is it the cow level? I bet you it's the cow level. I bet you that is the game's way of saying that the terrorized zone is the cow level right now. That would make sense. They still have the... They try to pretend the cow level doesn't exist. I'm curious to see if they're I mean, obviously there's going to be some kind of cow level reference in Diablo 4. It's just a running joke at this point, but I'm curious to see what it's going to be. Because they did the, what's the, Rainbow Unicorn Magic Land in Diablo 3? Whimsyshire? Was that it? Alright. Somewhere down here, there's going to be a side passage that goes off towards the Hellforge. If I can find it, I will. If I happen to find, Diablo's lair first, we'll just push on to Diablo's lair.
Not enough mana.
There we go.
Not enough mana.
And now my mana's coming back fast enough that I don't need to really worry about anything, and I can just start chunking through enemies incredibly quickly. Alright, everything here dead. Keep moving. Oh, we got more enemies up ahead. And as soon as anything in this mess dies, yep, there goes the rest of it.
Not enough mana.
Got another set of champions up ahead, but as soon as any one of them dies, if one of my skeletons would like to go across and make that happen, that would be fantastic. There we go. Yep, there goes a pile of them.
I need mana.
This here's a dead end, alright.
I need mana.
How are we doing on potions? I'll eat one of those.
Not enough mana.
Burn through all of that. Come on, guys. Party's up this way. Let's get them. Oh god, I keep getting frozen, so they're shattering instead of turning into corpses. That's unfortunate. I should maybe get rid of some of my mages. You can use the, like, unsummon thing to just keep unsummoning the frost mages until you get the ones you want, but fine. Normally, frost mages, like, if you're not going a corpse explosion route, can be quite good because it slows down enemies. Oh, my god, I'm out of identify scrolls. Look at that. I think I might have actually just found the way up towards Diablo here. Which means I walked past the entrance to the Soul Forge back there somewhere. Alright, push forward a little bit. When we find the waypoint, that's when we're definitely at the entrance to where Diablo's living. There's a little waypoint right before the door to him. Alright, wait, hidden stash? What's this? Oh, gold and some potions. Alright, burning through all of this. You'll always, in this map again, it's always up and to the right. Every time you land in here, your end destination is up and to the right, and the way to the Soul Forge is going to be a side path that branches off to the side, somewhere along that. So I think, yeah, I've got enough here that I want to...
Not enough mana.
Let's, get some of those summoned up. Keep heading this way. There's my River of Flame waypoint, meaning, yeah, I went straight past where I was looking to. Whatever, you go there, there's a little mini-boss, you smash it with a hammer. Mephisto's soul is then apparently destroyed, although apparently not, because he's back in Diablo 3, kind of. Like, all of the souls ended up becoming, resurrected in that game. So apparently destroying the Soulstone didn't, like, fully defeat him, although maybe the problem is that we didn't destroy all of them, or that when we destroyed the World Stone it, like, released them. I don't actually know what the lore is on that. I'm assuming it's that when we destroyed the Soul Stone here, his soul was absorbed into the World Stone, and that when we destroy the World Stone at the end, they get released. That would be my assumption anyway. Alright, so we need to head this way. Oh, come on. And up this way. Alright. You're gonna go down in no time. As soon as they get surrounded by skeletons, they are just done. And keep heading across these bridges. And this should be the end of it right here. It's honestly a relatively short little section where you're going across these bridges leading up to the final little sanctuary.
I need mana.
Dragon Burn the Unholy. What a name.
I need mana.
And yeah, Chaos Sanctuary, this is going to be it.
I need mana.
The final little fight in the original game.
Not enough mana.
You've made it all the way to the depths of hell, you've followed Diablo here, and now we just need to defeat him and move on about our day. You know what? I've actually been dealing with mana issues, so we'll go ahead and take a mana regen shrine. Why not? It'll be quite useful. Grab another Grand Charm. Can I
can't carry anymore.
Well, what am I going to drop then? You know what? I don't need this axe or this. Those are both crap. I'll keep this just in case it ends up being, like, I don't have it. I can add it to the collection. It's probably not worth it, but oh well. Yeah, no, I don't really need the jewels, most likely. Burn through all of you? What the hell's a Yari?
I am overburdened.
I don't even know what you are. Oh, it's a fucking staff. Sure, whatever. Or spear. Really, that's definitely not worth my time. I don't think I've ever even seen one of those before. Alright, up to here, we got more demons. Ooh. They killed one of my skeletons. Good on them. Let's get some more of these guys brought back up.
Not enough
Get some
mana.
monster revives mixed in there. And
I
one
need
more of
mana.
you would be fantastic. I know you're in there. There we go. How are we looking on potions? Grab one of you. And this here is where we will be fighting Diablo in this massive giant flaming pentagram in the middle of hell, because he's really got like a brand. Like, Diablo has hired a very, like, dedicated interior decorator. But in order to summon him, we need to go release the seals that are keeping him sealed away, which are going to be off to the side here, which is also going to summon a series of little mini-bosses you have to fight. Come on. Down you go. This map is always the same general layout. I think there's some minor variations in, like, the exact layout of these side passages, but it's very minimal. Ah, speaking of them, here's the Grand Vizier of Chaos. Would you mind, one of you dying? I'll always take a rune. Release that seal. Alright, and now we head on to release the next sets. I think it's 5 seals in total, 2 on each side and 1 up in the top. Feels like it should have been 6. Alright. One more up this way. Come on. And up we go to here. Past the Doom Knights. And there's our seal. We've got a couple more of these casters and stuff to deal with before we get there. They are casting some curses on us, which can be a little annoying. I think it's a lower resist curse, but nothing too bad. Release the seal, it spawns in another pile of fancy enemies. I think it's the Lord Desace is right down here. Yeah. And he goes down immediately. A lot of these enemies in here just don't have the staying power. Once you, like, I've honestly always found that Nightmare is the easiest difficulty, because normal, you probably don't have very good gear when you're going through it. So you're, like, a little under-geared, and probably a little under-leveled. By the time you get to Nightmare, you've probably, you know, when you've killed Bale on normal, you've farmed up some decent gear and gotten to decent levels that you're probably actually in something resembling an actual build, and you can chunk through it pretty quickly. When you get to Hell, that immediately stops. Hell difficulty is definitely challenging, even if you have a reasonably well-geared character and are at high levels. But Nightmare's always been a bit of an odd one. It's also tends to be like the best spot to farm for gear, because honestly, the drop tables for Nightmare enemies aren't that much worse than the drop tables for the Hell difficulty enemies, which does kind of put them in a spot where, like, they're probably the preferred farming method because they all just die easier.
I need mana.
So you can farm them, like, significantly faster and get some pretty good drops off of it. Also, yeah, let's get all of these, my monster revives all sorted out before I release this. Because, yeah, there's our next one. Where's the named one? What's his name? He's in there somewhere. There it is. Infector of Souls. That's who this guy is. Alright. Down he goes. And I need one of each. And now you can see with everything turning nice and shiny red there. We've released all the seals.
Not even death can save you from me.
And our buddy is back. Unfortunately for him, this is going to be a lot faster than it was in Diablo 1. We get a bunch of our guys on him. I'm going to drop an amplify damage curse. Oh my god, he actually killed all of our mages. Look at him go. And he killed 2 of my skeletons. I mean, he's not going to kill anything else, but he actually did some damage. Good on him. And down he goes. Soul absorbed back into the Soul Stone. If you were playing this on the quest version of it, he would drop the Soul Stone. You could go ahead and pick that up. And then you're going to, have that destroyed off camera before Act 5. In the base game, this is it. That's the end of the game. You get your cutscene. You would now unlock the, progress to Nightmare, travel through, do all of it again on Nightmare, and then travel through again and do all of it on Hell. However, with the release of Lord of Destruction, the story continues. I don't think it actually does open a portal for you here, so you would have to normally just portal back to town. It might open a freebie. They might just freebie you a portal back on up. But you would now talk to Tyrael. He would tell you that you've defeated Diablo, and you'd travel on to the final act. And a couple of cutscenes will play out at that point, which we'll go ahead and pop up here. I wish there was a way to play these from the menus, but whatever, what do I know? Enter Hell we already saw, so now we've got Terror's End and the Search for Baal, which would both play in succession. Terror's End would play at the end of the base game, even if you didn't have Lord of Destruction. This is the final cutscene of the base game. And we're back where we started at the beginning.
Later that he was defeated. And that the Soul Stone were destroyed in Hellforge. All except one.
I failed, Tyrael. I couldn't do as you asked. I couldn't enter that gate. Forgive me, Tyrael. Forgive me.
Marius, give me the stone, and all is forgiven. Give it to me, Marius.
Take it. Take it, take it. I'm glad this is finally over, Tyrael. Look what the stone has done to me.
You haven't failed, old man. You've done exactly as you were meant to do. However, I am not the Archangel Tyrael.
Well, no.
He's saying no. Why is it saying low?
You have done well, Marius. Now I think you shall have your reward.
What have I done to deserve?
And oops, yep, we missed one. We missed Bale, and that means his soul stone's been returned and he is now fully revived. Which is going to lead to the start of the first and only expansion for Diablo 2, Lord of Destruction, named after Bale himself. We'll pick up where he is now heading to try and corrupt the World Stone, which has been the goal of the Primevals' entire time, was to gain control of the World Stone, because they want to get back to, winning the war against the High Heavens, and if they can gain control of the World Stone and Sanctuary, it gives them a colossal advantage in that war. So he makes his way up. The World Stone is currently being held inside of a secret chamber inside Mount Ariat, guarded by the barbarian sanctuary fortress.
Bail! The gates of Sescheron have stood for eons beyond remembrance, and you shall not breach them now. Remove your foul demons from our lands. We stand on the side of light. You shall not be allowed to reach Mount Ariat, and that which you seek will not be yours.
I shall take your position into consideration. Well, it seems your terms are not acceptable.
Alright, so that's the start of Lord of Destruction. There's another guy that I feel bad for. Like, Marius and that guy they send out to negotiate with Bale at the beginning of Lord of Destruction, like, what did they do? Who did they piss off that someone was just like, yeah, this is your life now. Alright, let's head on to Act 5 and the final bit of the story of this game. So Bale is leading an assault on Mount Ariat, attempting to be repelled by the barbarians that have defended this for a long, long time, knowing this is the site of the World Stone. With his assault on it, it is threatening the very, safety of Sanctuary. And apparently my loading. Come on, game. Let me in. I know you want to. There you go. Alright, let's get ourselves some summons, and now we need to go continue. The first thing you're going to find when you get to this barbarian town is that they are under siege by Bale's forces. The first mission they're going to give you is to head outside and take care of some of the siege masters and catapults and clear the way forward. Overall, this whole act storyline is just you pushing your way up Mount Ariat past Bale's forces to try to beat him to the World Stone Chamber to prevent him from destroying or corrupting the World Stone. Along the way, you find a necromancer named Nihilthak that's been corrupted by Bale and betrayed the village and is raising armies of undead and attempting to join the demons. He's kidnapped Anya here. You go in, you find his temple, you rescue her in the frozen wastes, you defeat him. You can go back in here and kill him as many times as you want to. But we've already done all that. This character's already done all these quests. We're already kind of endgame, so we can now head on ahead. Most of this is just snowy wastelands and mountains. It's just a lot of mountains and snowy wastelands and little demon encampments and stuff. Most of the quests here: Siege on Haragoth, Rescue on Mount Ariat is rescuing Anya, Prison of Ice. Oh no, this is rescuing the prisoners. This is rescuing prisoners of barbarian prisoners in the demon encampments. Prison of Ice is Anya. Then you go and destroy Nihilthak. You get the ability to personalize an item, which means I could... have I done it yet? I haven't. Screw it. We're going to go ahead and personalize this homunculus. It's very pointless. If I talk to her, I can personalize this item. I click that button. What that does is... it now says it's my character's homunculus. Nothing else about it changes. It just adds my name to it. I believe that's there mostly if you wanted to trade items. You can have your personalized mark put on your items. It's kind of a goofy reward. That will now complete that quest in my journal. You've got the Rite of Passage, which is in order to make your way into Ariat, you need to defeat 3 spirits that are guarding the entrance to the mountain. We'll go and do that fight. That's kind of fun, and it does sort of... Oh, God, maybe we won't. I've apparently just completely skipped all of the waypoints along the way up here the first time I did this. Good lord. That's fine. We'll go to Worldstone Keep too. You fight 3 barbarians that are ancient, paragons of the barbarian culture. We would find some of them referenced in other points in Diablo lore. They aren't completely one-off characters. Can I get in there and, yeah, kill some of these so I can get some skeletons up and about and start getting ready to take on Bale. Because this is it. We've made it up to the Worldstone Keep. This is where they are. The Worldstone has been kept for thousands of years, trying to keep it safe from both the armies of Hell and Heaven. For Sanctuary, it's probably in everyone's best interest that neither side gets access to this. The High Heavens would be every bit as prone to manipulating and using mankind for their own ends as the Hells would be. Just potentially with a bit less, flaying involved. Alright, and we're full up on summons, and now we just need to find our way through to Bale. I don't remember which direction it is that I want to go here. I'll take that. But if we see any of this red on the map, that's the exit. Both the entrances and exits to this area are always flanked by bits of little, lava on either side. Good lord. Yeah, let's get this ready. So we're gonna just kind of run around and look for any signs of red. Oh, like this right here. Ta-da, we found it. Also, what's this? Oh, that's the way back up. Well, this would have been a really good map. That's the entrance, and this is the exit right here. Worldstone Keep level 3. And then I've just got to find one more exit down to the Worldstone Keep level 4, and that's where Bale lives. And we'll be on our way out. Poke my way through this. See if we get lucky on the drops from Bale. Probably not, but you never know. Which... Come on. Everybody up here. Alright. Oh. Everybody up here. Just gonna kind of run around a second, see if I can spot any sign of the exit. Wait for my summons to catch up so that I'm not completely exposed. There we go. Anybody? Oh god. Flayers? What are they doing down here? I didn't even realize you could spawn them down here. Also, the music playing here is the, like, opening menu music. Kind of the overall Lord of Destruction theme. Alright, burn through all of you. Where are you hiding, Bale? Oof. Okay, again, be a little careful. And we'll kind of keep an eye on my potions and stuff. If I happen to see anything, probably worth healing as we see potions dropping. Anything through here? Nope. Bunch of gold, though. I will take a bunch of gold. Also, what the hell's shocking me? Uh-oh, there go all of my monster revives. Let's fix that real quick.
Not enough mana.
Super healing potion. Yes, go ahead and drink one of them. Okay, well I went completely the wrong way. I should have gone the other way.
I am overburdened.
What the hell? Oh, I don't need that. We can just pick this up instead. There we go. We'll get those all identified when we get back to town. Probably should have bought some identify scrolls while I was there. That would have been smart. Oh well. Exit to Bale. There we go. Alright, everybody's back up. We can keep moving. Is the exit down this way, then? Must be. There we go. This is looking promising. I'm liking all these. I don't know if it's actually good. But certainly looks ornate. Long passage to... This is the exit. We found it. Alright. Blow all of you up, and on we go to Bale. So it should be right here. The Throne of Destruction. I think the first time you come down here, he's taunting you a little bit. You'll hear some voice lines of him telling you how pointless your quest is as you make your way through. I don't think that happens on any of the subsequent visits, but you do get a little bit of fun Bale toying with you dialogue. Ooh.
I am overburdened.
Okay, hold up. I'll find out what that is in a minute. That could actually be good. Uniques sometimes are quite useful, and I definitely don't know all of the uniques in this game well enough to know which specific item sets I'm looking for. Alright, in you go. Yeah. Clear you all out. If possible, kill everything in this room before I push up to Bale. There he is. There's my guy. How you doing, Bale? Hanging out up here? That's cool. He's gonna summon in a few waves of enemies. You'll hear him laughing after each wave we defeat. How we doing? You good? Alright, we get another wave. Bale says laughing. Thanks, game. I don't know if I would have figured that out. Ooh. All my monster revives just died. Well, let's fix that real quick. These are actually some reasonable monster revives to grab, so I will certainly take them. Want to give me one more? Perfect. Also, these enemies here actually have a pretty high chance of dropping good stuff as well, so keeping an eye open for drops on them can be a good idea. Are we done? This is going to be the council members of Karast again, and then this final one is going to be just a bunch of like high-tier pit lords. Come on. Come on. For Venom Lords. Ooh. Fancy names. They are doing some good damage though. So don't completely laugh them off. And then I think, yeah, one last wave of enemies and it's going to be like custom minions of Bale. Yeah, Minion of Destruction. Is there a named one in there? Lister? Lister the Tormentor. Yep. If I get lucky and I can kill one of these and revive it, I'd be quite happy. How we doing? You want to revive one of these? Yeah, whatever. I'll take one of those over there. Okay. That's everybody down. Bale is now going to make a hasty retreat to the Worldstone Chamber. Well, maybe not so hasty. Come on, Bale. Get in there. There you go, buddy. And in a second, we should be able to, yeah, follow him in. And this is it. The final boss. So the way this is going to work is somewhere back over here. Yeah, there's Bale. He is eventually going to summon in a clone of himself. Oh, God. Let's get back on around him. I want my minions to all bunch up around him as much as possible. There we go. And we want to make sure we're attacking the real Bale. The tell is that if you look at his name up on the top there, Bale and Demon aren't perfectly font aligned. Like, Bale is slightly more pushed over to the right because they're centered. On the fake one, the way they did it is they named him Bale with an underscore at the end, or a space. And so when he summons that, it ends up being perfectly aligned. Bale and Demon are the same number of syllables or letters, so they end up being aligned with each other. Frequently, he doesn't get a chance to summon him, especially if you slow him like this, because he's just going to get taken down too quick to actually pull off the summon. And I think that might be what's about to happen here, is he's just going to end up getting chunked down before he ever gets a chance to summon in his buddy. Maybe not, though. He is killing a few of my guys. I've only got one monster revive left. What's it gonna be, Bale? Well, you know, I could probably help out a little bit. Here, we'll put an amplified damage on him. That'll help. There, I'm helping. And down he goes. Nothing fancy. We do get that lovely animation of him vomiting all over the place here. And his soul goes off. This here is the World Stone, the titular World Stone that they've been fighting for all these years. However, with Bale's destruction, his soul is absorbed into the World Stone as well as all the other ones, and he has now corrupted this, meaning that Sanctuary is in trouble. Because with the World Stone corrupted, that leads to, well, eventually the borders between Hell and the Sanctuary will completely decay and will be vulnerable to attack from both sides. Humanity will slowly get corrupted. It's a bad time. You don't want that. So the final cutscene you get once you've defeated Bale is this one right here. And with that, Tyrael destroys the World Stone, pretty much ending, well, theoretically ending the main struggle of the Eternal Conflict, although also ending any reason they had to sign a truce, because with the World Stone destroyed, Heaven and Hell don't have any reason to not fight each other anymore or to not interfere in the events of Sanctuary, which will lead us into the events of Diablo 3. But that's it. That's the main story of Diablo 2. And also, like, you can see a bit of the gameplay, a bit of how the mechanics work in this. It is honestly probably my favorite Diablo game overall. 3 is quite fun. I do enjoy it. I don't think it's like a bad game by any means. 1 was interesting and fun enough for what it was. Interesting seeing where a lot of the ideas get its basis from. This one just seems to have the most like longevity in my opinion. And then yes, at that point you could now carry on into Hell difficulty. Where are we on? Yeah, Hell difficulty I'm already pretty much doing fine on my difficulty penalty minus 100. Good lord. But with a bonus of 160, we're fine. And I think on this character I have also... Yeah. Really? Oh, I never added sockets to an item. That's why this isn't completed. I was like, yeah, I think we've already completed everything on Hell with this guy, so he's pretty much donezo on this. You can go back and grind the world bosses as much as you want to. You could teleport back in if I wanted to go fight, say, Andariel. I probably shouldn't... Hold up. Hold up. I probably shouldn't... Ooh. The first zone here is a terrorized zone. I probably don't want to try to summon up some skeletons in a terror zone. Which means we should find... Ideally... Yes, you'll be perfect. Can you come here and die so that I can get some skeletons, please? Yeah, that'd be great. Come here. Let's get you all down and get some skeletons back in the mix. One issue with Necromancers, when you first start out, you need to find something you can kill to get some skeletons, and especially on Hell difficulty, that can be a little challenging. Grabbing those first few skeletons when all you have is your own basic abilities is not always the easiest. Especially because one of my strongest attacks also uses up the corpse. But now that we've gotten a few, we're pretty much good to go. Starbang the Grim. Fantastic. And then we'll just go ahead and get some revives. Mix in a few of those. And yeah. Ooh, Bane Vex. We're getting a bunch of named ones here. Cool. Although, that said, Glacial Trail and Drifter Cavern are now the new terror zones. Alright, with that done, we can actually pop back into town real quick. I want to have Deckard Cain identify some of these items I got, because I did actually get some good stuff out of this. Cain, where are you, old man? I am nowhere near the right direction. Why did I think it was that way?
Greetings.
Identify items. Alright. What did we get? Did I get anything useful out of these? Probably not. Lightning resist. Life, 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 life. I mean, plus life is okay. Not great. The lightning resist is not bad. And actually, was that the one that I was weaker on? No. Lightning resist I'm fine on. We'll chuck the Fool Rune in the bin. We'll check if I happen to have one of that, Saber. Oh, I don't. Keep you for now. I will chuck you into here for now. Oh, I can actually transmute more of these. Cool. I'm gonna go sell all these charms real quick.
Good day.
We're looking, ideally the charms you want to hang on to, or anything with plus skills is going to be your real gems out of that. Don't need any of you. Cool. Dump all my money into the bin. We can just deposit it into here. This keeps it a little safer if I die, that I won't be dropping that on the ground. What else do I have here? I think... yeah. I picked this up, which is... is this any good? Sparking Mail? Enhanced defense, lightning resist? No, it's not very good at all. And this I want to hang on to in case I want to start a sorcerer, because that looks like it might actually be pretty good for a sorceress. We'll go ahead and chuck this into Akara. Have this fancy, shining, sparking chainmail. 1 to 20 lightning damage. It's just not very good. We'll go ahead and slap this into here. Throw this into my shared stash. That actually, like, that looks like it might be really good, to be honest. Like really good. Let's go for the hell of it, just kill Andariel, just to show what that's like. Oh, you know what it is? It's because normally, on the maps that I'm used to, I think the exit's, yeah, over on that side, which you don't see as often. So it would put the portal over here. It slightly changes where the portal is, depending on which exit from the map you have. Alright. Let's dive down into here real quick. See if we can find Andariel. Hello? Alright, Andariel, where are you? I mean, I'm going to count myself as reasonably lucky that I haven't been running into too much down here. Because on hell difficulty, enemies do have a fair amount of health. Like, even Act 1, it is no joke. Oh, and they will hurt. So, let's try and get some stuff, yeah, clustered up, get through all of that. This is a dead end here. Nothing. Burn through all of you. Oh. Who's back there? Alright. Also, I don't remember what color Andariel is on hell difficulty. Because they change the color of the enemies, of the bosses, based on what difficulty you're on. I don't really know why. It doesn't happen to any of the other enemies in the game, but all of the bosses get a unique color based on what difficulty you're playing on. No. There we go. Alright, also if I can, yeah, revive some stuff.
I need mana.
Just keep some revives moving around.
Not enough mana.
Would be a good idea. Oh, don't get too far ahead.
Not enough mana.
How we doing? Yeah, that'll be good. And grab this. Ooh. Uh-oh. 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 Okay, we've gotten some kills. Not enough, though. Guys, do you all want to, like, come over here and start fighting these? There we go. Nothing out of you. Well, we got the way forward, at least. Oh, 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 oh. Where are all my minions? Minions? The one downside of playing Necromancer, especially on hell difficulty, you are extremely squishy. And if you get ahead of your minions and get caught off guard, you can get chunked in a hurry. As long as you stay behind him, though, you're fine. hang out in the back, observe, throw down some curses when you need to, explode some corpses when you get the chance to, and you'll be totally fine. Like, right now, they're going to get hung up, yeah, destroying this, and I don't want them doing that. I want them killing this guy so he stops resurrecting everything. Alright. There we go. No dice on the exit, though, which means the exit must be up in this sort of direction. Oh, nothing here either. Alright. Try another hallway.
It's locked.
God, all these locked chests. Fun little gimmick that not that many isn't made super clear by the game. I don't want to say not that many people know. People that play Diablo 2 tend to know Diablo 2 extremely well, but something that the game doesn't make extremely clear to new players, I would say. If you play Assassin, you don't need keys. They just have a lockpick ability, like, innately. Any locked chest they can just open by right-clicking it, which is something I didn't know for the longest time. Wait. That's not the exit down, is it? Did I walk right past it and not even realize? No, that's the exit up. Okay, we're good. I was like, did I walk right past it and just not even realize it? Oh, God. But no, that is the exit up. So I'm looking for something probably in this sort of a direction. Oh, yep, there it is. Catacombs level 3, and then we just need to find Catacombs 4, and we're out of here. See if we can cut through this reasonably quick. I'll get some more revives, because my revives are starting to fall off. The Banished are okay as revives, not great though. I guess they have a range which can be useful. And it's a fire range, which isn't bad. Alright, if I were an exit to this floor... Oh, I would not be that guy. Hold up. Get the hell back out of there. I'd prefer if they didn't kill my, mercenary either. He's kind of expensive to revive. You can feed your mercenary potions too. If you just like shift-click the... or shift-shortcut the potions, it'll chuck it to him instead, which is something I didn't know for a long time either. I thought that you had to like manually drop it on his thing, which was always way too clunky to do in an actual fight, but no! You just hold shift, and it just feeds it straight to him. No, nothing over this way. Alright, keep exploring. Nothing this way. Let's get into here. Oh, I don't really want to be in a melee fight myself. Thank you. There we go. Alright, it looks like I have managed to find my way entirely around this corner without finding anything. Good. Any of you want to die? Would any of you be so kind as to die? As soon as one of you is down, this is going to go in a hurry. Oh, Mind Wipe the Grim. It's because this is an elite and his pack of minions. That's why it wasn't dying very quickly. Sometimes in these darker areas it can be a bit harder to notice when there's a different colored one. Yeah. What we got through here? Is this the way out? Not looking like it. But... no, definitely not. Okay. Throw down some stuff. We've got a champion in here. That clears that out. Bunch of gold, though. I'll take a bunch of gold. And I have a feeling I'm about to lose a bunch of my minions, so, oh, wait, wrong spell. Try that again. Yeah, we'll pop a few of these guys back up just to get my minion timer refreshed. So I didn't want to go this way at all. I had two choices and I picked the wrong one. Try this side. How are we looking over here? I got some fancy zombies. Anybody want to come in here and deal with these? Thank you. Can I not curse him? Interesting. Why is he immune to curses? Don't know what would cause that. Let's head this way then. Over here, anybody through this door? Dario. We've got some more of these guys. Nothing too dangerous. I will take some revives though. Thankfully, it's only a couple of them at a time, which is perfect for getting more revives up. So I don't need to worry about burning corpse explosions as much. Alright. That'll do. Let's check up here for the exit. Ghouls. Those aren't too bad. Oh, these are some champions, though, so be a little careful. Alright, everybody down there is dead. Should get all my summons moving again. Where the hell's the exit? Okay. Is it like down in this little corner here? It might be like down in this little corner here. Yes, there we go. Okay. This will be it. And Dario, hello, how's it going? Should be a nice, easy one. Clear out this first room. Come on. Oh, there's some zombies in the same room as me. I didn't even notice them. This'll do. Alright. Get a curse down. As soon as the corpse forms, clears me some space. Get another curse down over here. Is that it? Are we good? I think we're good. Move on to her. If possible, I'd like to clear out the two side passages first, because hello? Who the hell hit me? Oh. Like, sometimes there's some, like, shaman over there that can revive guys during the fight, but just make it take longer. Yeah, like this. So if I can take you out before I accidentally pull her, that would be great. Oh no, we accidentally pulled her right away. Alright, well then, everybody? Do you mind getting in here and taking care of this? Ah, she's going down nice and quick. They did kill a few of my skeletons, though, so a little bit tougher. And a bunch of nonsense. I'll take it, though, just so I can sell it all. Screw it. And that's the end of that. So yeah, hi. Blowing back there. Alright. Now we're good. I think we'll call that a part here. Like I said, just wanted to kind of showcase each of these games once, just so you can see how it basically plays, what the deal is, what the lore is in the franchise, what the story's been so far. The plan is to come back for Diablo 3, not tonight, but tomorrow night, because I do work in the morning tomorrow, so I can't be up all night streaming. So we'll be taking a break from streaming tonight, and then be back with Diablo 3. Hey, Corey Juju, much appreciated. Thanks for hanging out. Hope you had fun, and yeah, like I said, we'll be back tomorrow night. Like, not 24 hours from when I started this stream, but about 48 hours from when I started this stream, to do Diablo 3 and wrap up the end of that. Diablo 3 I might be able to take a little bit more of an in-depth look at, because it's not as long to play through. So we'll be diving in with that and seeing what we can see. I'm kind of curious here. Give me 1 second to... We're gonna swat that to here. We'll see if anybody is online that I can send a raid in the direction of. Anybody doing anything that I am... Do we got any Diablo streamers online that I'm particularly interested in sending people in the direction of? I'm sure there's got to be a ton of people playing this right now, just because, like, with the, oh, why are you automatically... There we go. It's like, I'm sure there's just a ton of people doing Diablo right now with the new one launching later this week. I'm not really seeing anybody I know, though. And at the moment, not a lot of people streaming in English, unfortunately. Also, they seem to have changed the way this works. Odd. But I think we're just going to call it a part there for now. I will let people find their own way onwards from here. I much appreciate having everybody stop by. I will see you next time. And I am going to go get some sleep and probably wake up and play a bit of System Shock eventually. But for now, take care.